Our crack
Which
team
says we're live, so we are live. Yay!
Yay! Excellent.
Hello, Twitch. I do not know if I have this set up. Okay, so there's a button that says private chat. So, yes. And then there's another one that says comments, and that is technically the chat that is also happening on Twitch. So.
Oh,
and
that's cool.
We lost Merc. Oh, no.
No, I'm still here. I just stopped the game for a sec.
All right. So I'll put
How do I see
on private chat. Anyway. Hello, Twitch and all you wonderful nerd folk. We are gaming live tonight. This is technically a new World of Darkness game. Possibly Chronicles of Darkness, except we're going back to the Mind's Eye Theater rules, because the simpler your rule system and the smaller your dice rolls, the easier it is to stream on Twitch. So, we're going to be playing things fast and loose, because half of our players have never played this system before, and the other half, well, no, Pam, Petruchia remembers the old system. I don't know. So yes, this is basically vampires, werewolves, changelings, and mages in a far-flung science fiction future. 5,000 years ago, a war destroyed planet Earth, and everyone left on giant spaceships, including some sneaky supernaturals. 1,000 years after that, they ended up in the core worlds, and they set up a whole new society. And if you look at the names, that the supernatural, sneaky supernaturals were not being super subtle with the naming rights. Like planet named Atlantis, like, okay, come on. Oh my god, mages.
You act as if you expect anything differently.
You've only just started reading that book. Oh my goodness.
Yep.
So yes, this will be, and now it is 4,000 years after that. They have extended from the core into the Expanse, and now about 2,000 years of Expanse development, and now there is also a Verge. This game takes place in Idun system, which back in the day, the first days of the Expanse, it was as far off to the outer rim of the Expanse as it was possible to go before falling into uncharted territory. For that reason, Idun is kind of a weird system for the Expanse. Instead of the entire city being covered by a megacity, the megacity is about 50 miles span, and there's like still farmland on this planet. It's crazy. So, also, about 50 years ago, it became illegal to be a supernatural person, creature, etc. in the core. So a whole bunch of people have come out to the Expanse to escape persecution and murders. Well, their own murders. Murdering other people, this is World of Darkness. We will be mostly following the NWAD system. However, I'm using a hack from Mind's Eye Theater book so that we only have to roll 1d10, and then every dot on our sheet, instead of representing that many dice, is just a plus to a d10 roll. And then you get to re-roll your 10s. Similarly, merit points give you additional +1s to your rolls if you can justify using them. But we're playing things kind of fast and loose, and I sort of wanted to see how that works. So otherwise, I don't see merits used enough during gameplay. So, with that all said, and I guess we'll take a short break at like 9:30. You want to take a 5-minute break? I don't really need a break, so I will chat with chat at 9:30. And yeah, so, Dune, why don't you introduce yourself as player and character? Because that's the person right next to me on my screen.
That's correct. Well, I'm Merc, and I'm playing Dune. Now, Dune is not what you'd call a real garrulous person, but he'll try to do his best by you He's a mercenary and a wolf blood, which is not a proper werewolf, but something similar. And he doesn't see what the problem is with being a wolf blood. But he was born in the farmland outside the Idun city and lived there with his father, also a wolf blood, and his siblings who became proper werewolves. But he did not become a proper werewolf and was therefore set to become basically the analog of a medieval serf, a servant of the land and the lords of the land, which would be the werewolves. But his father didn't want him to do that for him, so he sent him to the city, where his aunt found him, introduced him to the community of wolf bloods in the city, and got him some jobs in the city, where he now works. And that's Dune.
And Dune is he, him pronouns? All right. Petruchio. Pancake.
How much of this is going to be character knowledge versus player knowledge?
You can share what you want to share. If you think your character, being what your character is and their background, if you think they wouldn't necessarily tell their coworkers what's going on, you can say as much or as little as you want. And also, you get to be the star of the prologue today.
Well, my character is just a normal human. I don't know what other people would say about that. I go by Petruchio. Is that how I pronounce that?
Yeah, that's fine. Years in the future. Some people still speak Italian, but it's a language is a spectrum now.
Okay. I work and live in Idun City, and one of the upper management levels of Carve Tourism. And I'm assuming that's how we know each other. So you guys have probably worked with me in the past. I don't socialize much outside of work. Pretty much keep to myself. Spend a lot of time managing the business, a lot of time on the computers, doing the back end work, and deciding the next target or client, I guess. And that's about it for me.
And we will get into the type of business that this party runs in just a few minutes. So next, Fen Priceley.
Hi, I am Sunburst Splendor, and I will be playing Fen Priceley. Fen is a changeling. She is a very, very wonderful saleswoman. She's like the top of all the saleswomen, all the salespeople in her like little thing. She's so good at selling things to people. She could sell the Brooklyn Bridge to itself. She kind of knows how good she is at things, which can sometimes get her into trouble, but that's okay. She is a I'm trying to think of what else to say. As I've blanked on how words work. But yeah, I mean, honestly, she kind of just got into the travel business because she liked selling dreams. I guess that's that's what I'm gonna say. That's all I'm gonna say about Finn.
Awesome. Klaus.
All right.
How you living, Klaus?
That sure is a question. I wouldn't say living exactly, but living technically. We'll just sum it up with magic, necromancy, and bullshit.
95% letter.
Drugs by day and medical help by night.
Woohoo! You You are in Eden looking for a permanent good time.
Yeah. It's fine.
And it's a
Everything
good
is
thing.
fine.
Everything is fine. Shut up. Everything's fine. Okay, so ostensibly, our party of four works for a travel agency in Eden System that specializes in helping people travel from the core to all parts of the Expanse, to even the Verge, because that's only been in development for the last maybe 50 years, conveniently at the same time that it became illegal to be supernatural in the core, they opened up the Verge for settlement. So it's like, okay. And they may not be revealing everything about their characters, given that anti-supernatural mean sauce has been on the rise in the Expanse, as certain Expanse systems are kind of trying to join the core. Eden itself is actually pretty chill by comparison. But the people still live their lives the way they want. So,
what's the current year?
The current year is, I believe I said 4119.
Okay.
Or no, 4219. I wrote it down somewhere. I'll look it up during the break.
I definitely saw it and did not take it in.
But yeah. There has, given that you're a tourist bureau, there is some scuttlebutt going on in various entertainment-based industries, or conservators, because you're technically a conservators union company, because your boss is a conservator. Where was I going with this? Oh, that the next year is Eden Systems' 2000th anniversary from the founding of its initial government. So people are starting to wonder, and have wondered for this year. It's like autumn. It has basically the same calendar year as the northeast of the U.S. because that's where I live and I wrote it. So, yeah, my brain keeps blanking too. We're off to a great start, friends. Okay, so. A lot of people are wondering what kind of events are going to happen in town because, you know, not even a centennial. We have a college, what's 1,000 year? What's a epoch?
Bi-millennial, I believe.
Bi-millennial. It's not every day you have a bi-millennial. Actually, no, bi-millennials are kind of, well, in modern times, anyway. A double millennial. Those don't come around all that often, so it's like, I wonder what's gonna happen and how we can make some money off of it. Meanwhile, in our little prologue, Petruchio, you are flashing back about, I believe I wrote 30 years. And, oh no!
About when I first joined Carve. Tourism.
Exactly, because at this point you've been on the run from a certain group of someones. I'm very sorry if this outs more than you wanted.
Go ahead, it's fine.
Yeah, we're flashing back on that. You have been outrunning the local court of Eden System for a month because your sire had the bad taste of trying to kill someone really important. And thus all of their children were implicated, and you have been using all of your wits and hacksaws to stay one step ahead of the sheriff. And I downloaded this to my tablet. Let me bring up some character sheets. So at this point, unfortunately, you were just about to get off-world and get out of Dodge and just start over in some other system when the sheriff finally catches up with you and basically bodily drags you back to a certain events kind of, it's a kind of lyceum, very fancy place near Old Town, one of the older parts of the city. And for this enormous amphitheater, there is a little, throne set up kind of back, upstage. But the theater is completely empty. There's pretty much just this one very stately looking woman in a red suit, a red pantsuit. You and the sheriff. And having never met Prince Tilda before, you're still absolutely sure you know who this is. And you're pretty sure, like, well, what's going through your mind right now? What are you pretty sure is going to happen?
I'm pretty sure I'm going to die.
Yup.
Because that's why they've been hunting me.
Yes. To practice out the system, roll intelligence and politics.
All right, so I'm just rolling 1d10 and adding my stuff to it. 10 total.
Cool, so you get one success. Now that you think about it, the reason you went on the run is because the order from the sheriff and the scourge were pretty much shoot first, ask questions later. But the sheriff didn't do that.
Yeah, they might be asking me questions before they kill me. Maybe there's a way out of this.
Or, any number of things in this theater of actual theater of cruelty. So, sorry, Klaus. Okay, Klaus. So,
gotta love technical difficulties.
Welcome back.
Welcome back.
So,
it's like, oh no, I've passed on the StreamYard curse.
Hear me, baby, hold together. So the austere Prince Tilda, in her suit, in her bright red pantsuit that looks exquisitely expensive, stands up, and the sheriff has basically forced you into a kneeling position in front of her. She sort of folds her arms. She's not all that slim. She seems more built. Like, usually the prince of the city lets other people do the hand-to-hand stuff, but this, if you just saw this woman in the street, you would not want to pick a fight with her. She just looks down at you and is like, well, that was certainly a merry chase you led us on. Do you have anything to say for yourself?
Well, I'd at least make my final days interesting. Interesting for you as well, I hope.
Very interesting. I haven't seen, it's rare to find a Ventru of your skill set, shall we say.
Oh.
And it's possible your sire had better taste than they realized. And it may be the last good decision they ever made. You may have noticed that we haven't outright murdered you yet.
I have.
If it helps, you are no longer implicated in the investigation against my life and reign.
Oh, well, that's good news for me, perhaps. May I ask what changed?
In the time we spent chasing you, we had more time to consult and go over the evidence, and the acolytes of the void are ever in our service. So, but yes, we were still quite perplexed at why the sheriff and the scourge could not locate you.
Oh, well, I didn't want them to, and I was actively avoiding them.
Yes, understood.
So, as you have noticed, I do have some skills in that area. Perhaps I would be more useful to you using those skills in your service than simply getting rid of me.
Indeed. Now that we've all had time to take a nice calming breath, so to speak. So, and she pulls out a data pad. I I decided a member of my own bloodline should perhaps get a second chance, or a first chance. It's not your fault who your sire was. And indeed, I did not make the decision to have her embraced in the first place. So, all right. I won't get into just how many greats there are between our generations, but effectively you are a descendant of mine.
Oh, I hadn't realized that.
Yes, I guess your sire didn't want to know that she was trying to murder her own predecessor. In addition to her prince. Fantastic. You seem smarter than that. So here, I am starting a venture. And we could very much use someone of your talents. Ostensibly, it is a travel agency.
Oh.
But how much do you know about this system's history? I know you were not born here.
I know some. I haven't made an extensive study of it, but I could learn if that's required for the job.
Oh, you will learn plenty. This system was founded by a mixture of supernaturals and the humans that supported them escaping the core almost 2,000 years ago. With that in mind, it is now illegal to be supernatural in the core, so we expect a new exodus. This company, while on the surface, and will do plenty of business as a travel agency, will also be secretly ferrying supernaturals and any who wish to pay for a quick, swift, subtle exit from the core or less tolerant areas of the expanse. We'll ferry them through our fair city and then onwards to whatever system they wish, with a new identity in some cases, otherwise just keeping their newfound true natures to themselves. I believe the term is Underground Railroad.
Oh, yes, that seems to be fitting. Also seems like this could be a very lucrative job, a very lucrative company in general.
Especially with the Prince of the City as one of your financial investors, which I would appreciate if you kept quiet, but you seem the discreet sort, and I appreciate that.
I don't generally make it a habit of telling people any more than they need to know.
Very good. So, you have your information there. The lease is all signed. I got you a location in Old Town, which is right next to the Elder Spaceport. So, be off with you, little Von True. And when I need to speak with you, I will summon you.
I will make it easier next time.
Indeed.
I will stand if the sheriff removes his hand from my shoulder and bow deeply to the prince and take my leave.
Don't screw it up. Thank you. And you leave. And, yep, you start setting up this new company. Or this new front. Which is certainly super, super lucrative. So the rest of you are employees. Yes, Klaus?
We had a question in chat that was, with space vampires, how does Starlight in general work for space travel?
That is the weird thing about N-Walk in space. When vampires first started wandering around the core planets, they suddenly realized, like, wait, I missed my bedtime. It's daylight. How am I not dead? So, for some reason, Earth's yellow star specifically hated vampires, but apparently the rest of the galaxy isn't that prejudiced.
I love
Just
that.
the racist.
There's a racist one. There's a speciesist. Subhuman designationist. Anyway. So yeah, so there are some systems where vampires still can't go out in the daytime. And some of it, is this Earth? Because that's kind of a background obsession for some supernaturals, is having left Earth, which was destroyed, they're like, no, we should totally go back. But, you know, werewolves are kind of confused without Luna, because Luna was very much attached to Old Earth. Mages are similarly confused without Atlantis. Similar situation. But yeah, it depends on the supernatural. So, at least in Eden system, vampires can walk around during the daytime and do not have the enforced daytime nap thing going on.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
As a result, they're all addicted to caffeine.
Ah!
I can help you.
It's an addiction. There's another sort.
Oh yeah.
Call it caffeine.
I mean,
Still
if you're for 24 hours.
You still need your vitamin B.
Mm-hmm.
So, over the next few decades, you've all joined by hook or by crook this organization. We'll get to those prologues another time. So, today, in-game, it is Friday. And it is 6 p.m. and y'all are closing up the shop. And as per usual, you are going to probably go drinking after this. So, what does the shop look like? It's mostly just you four doing about 80% of the work. Maybe you have up to 10 freelancers who come in and out depending on what you need. Web designers, pirates, etc.
The web designers are, of course, some of these spider women, most commonly popularized in Japan.
Okay.
I don't remember the yokai's name.
The yokai? Yeah, I don't either.
They exist, but I've forgotten the name.
Anyway, so do any of your characters have fun plans for tonight or the weekend?
I mean, I always have fun plans. Anyone want to go find a club with me or something?
I would love to find a club with you. I think that sounds fantastic.
I've got some drugs. You want some? Maybe don't, actually.
Yeah.
We don't need more than one person in here addicted. It's fine.
I would prefer
I mean,
that you.
there's
I would prefer that you do them over the weekend and do not bring them into the office, for they are quite astringent, and I do not like the smell of them.
Got it. You'll never see them again.
Good.
In here, anyway.
That is what I appreciate about you.
Well, the saga is right up the block.
Indeed it is. I am very familiar with the saga because, as you may know, I worked there for several years before I was picked up for this particular enterprise, let's say.
Security consultant.
As it stands, this weekend promises to be a very fruitful weekend for werewolves, it being the time when Idun's satellite is at its zenith, and my aunt has invited me to some revels in the park.
Ooh.
By the way, don't go into the park this weekend. It will not be healthful if you are not so inclined.
This would be a park, probably kind of on the outer outskirts of Market Town. There are parks all over the city. But yeah, so a gathering of werewolves is called a moot. But yeah, since there's only basically 20 werewolves in the whole the whole city, not counting visitors from the shipyards, you know, they invite a lot of wolf bloods.
One of the very few who do and who respect us for what we can do, as opposed to use us as those in the farmlands are given to do so.
Yeah, the werewolves in the city will take any boots on the ground that they can get. So they're like, hey, let's not treat our cousins like second-class citizens, because that's some bullshit. So, all right, so y'all heading over to Saga?
Sounds like fun.
Yeah.
I get my drinks for free.
Yes. You can probably score a few other free drinks for your coworkers, as your two businesses have some investors in common.
I'm just gonna keep dropping
Let's
that.
just say.
Yes, free drinks.
And as you know,
One
y'all-
free drink for you, and the rest of them you'll have to pay for, unfortunately.
so y'all pass
Okay.
the Metro Park. So there's this big, pretty park around the Metro hub that basically all of the subways or L trains or depending on what area, kind of stem out from in a big wheel or half a wheel spoke because you're up against the sea. And Alex, you still with us? Okay. So possibly Priceley might notice that the goblin fruit is in bloom on the mortal side in the Metro Park. So maybe they pick up a few goblin fruits, since urban foraging totally legal in this city. Yay!
What exactly are goblin fruits? I've been kind of unclear on that point.
So, to changelings, goblin fruits are a quick way to replenish glamour, which is their fuel stat. Some of them have unique individual powers or looks or tastes. Thus, for the most part, humans don't seem to have any adverse effects from them, but it is a little weird. You've heard from some changelings that usually goblin fruit only grows in something called the hedge, which is kind of the other world of the changelings.
Okay.
And you've heard from people that it's kind of like being on acid, but not in the fun way.
Thanks for saying not in the fun way, because I might have made a decision there that I would regret.
You've been warned.
Oh, you would not enjoy that.
It's like, you go in on an acid trip, but you actually have to pay for your acid trip with your own memory banks.
Well, okay then.
It's a little fucked up. But luckily for the changelings in Eden, goblin fruit just grows out in the city parks. Because that's not weird. So yeah, Fen, there's so much nice ripe goblin fruit on the trees as you pass the Metro Park on your way to Saga.
I mean, I'm gonna grab some.
Yeah.
I'll grab some.
Yum.
I'm
That's
gonna
good.
assume that I tried some once and decided I'm never doing that again.
Depends on what kind you try. You've probably had some, and it's just, oh, that's just like a really nice fruit. Other times, yeah, things got a little crazy. So a lot of humans don't pick goblin fruit unless they have a buddy to kind of show them which ones are which. Like one time you bit into one and it tasted like rusty nails and deodorant, and you're like, how is this even a thing? But, hashtag goblin fruit.
Bertie Bott's every flavor fruit.
Yes, that is exactly.
Yeah.
There are a few things, like if it looks more or less like a normal apple or banana or what have you, then it'll probably taste that way, but you can never be 100% sure unless you are one of those folks.
Unfortunately, I am one of those folks. I can smell the difference, and I don't like the one she picked.
Next game, I'll have a nice big list of goblin fruit if you ever want to forage for something in particular, but my computer kept crashing, so sadly that we don't have that today. So
I'm just gonna take a bite of it.
Oh yeah, you're fine. It's a regular glamour fruit. Nom 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 nom.
Tastes delicious.
We never grew goblin fruit on the farm, but we did grow a wide variety of other fruits.
Yeah, you've actually.
I will say that coming to the city, the parks were some of the best parts and the most familiar parts. though the absurd lack of, shall we say, ambushers in the tree branches made them a darn sight more attractive than the orchards of home, where you were more likely to be dive-bombed by a damn bird than any other place in the park.
Yeah, even the birds are OP in wolf country. In the wolf country.
They have to be to compete with the wolves.
Wolves be cray out
There
there.
have been some mighty turf wars between the imported magpies and my brethren, which are called Aratha.
The Aratha, yes. Yeah, so one of the reasons there are so many wolf bloods in the city, but not so many werewolves, is because A, the gauntlet is super fucking thick for a city. I don't agree with the idea that the gauntlet is always thick in all cities. A gauntlet is on a scale of 1 to 5, 1 being, oops, I tripped and fell into the shadow, which is the other world of the werewolves, and sometimes the mages, and occasionally a vampire. That's weird. Vampires are weird. They live that long, they're going to figure out some weird shit, like, oh my god. So 5 is like, yeah, getting into the Hysil is extremely difficult, and getting
human sacrifice.
Getting Gnosis is super difficult. So most werewolves don't like being here. That said, the Wolfbloods love being here because the werewolves are not here. Because wolf country is crazy. So, you guys make it to Saga without incident. Hooray! Where do you guys want to sit? Up front, where there's a nice bar and people are, basically kind of a pub atmosphere. There's food, there's restaurant service, there's plenty of alcohol for all these folks. Further in, there's kind of, there's the bathrooms, and then there's a door that leads to basically instead of being at the floor level of a club that goes like that a few levels, it goes down a few levels. And that's where mostly the more loud music uns club atmosphere is, along with the oldest profession, which is legal in this area. The fact that this is a tavern indicates that it caters to all vices.
I'll take a seat at the bar and order myself some moonshine.
I'm gonna sit next to my pal Dune.
I'll stick with the group for now. I'll probably venture downstairs before the end of the night.
Oh, I am sure you will.
I'll join the others at the bar.
Cool. Yep. And so, what is the barkeep's name? Zell is the bartender, and she is openly a changeling. So moonshine isn't something she's exactly allowed to serve here, but you're Dune, so you get some. She allows the rest of your party to decide whether or not they actually want the Wolf Country moonshine.
It glows in the dark.
100% do.
It glows in the dark.
It glows in the dark.
I'm in.
Yes.
Well, why not?
This sounds like the best idea I've ever had.
Yeah, Petruchio, you can have moonshine if you want.
I will spend a point of my vitae so I can actually eat and drink.
Sweet.
Probably won't have any effect on me.
Well, 4 moonshines for me and my friends, please.
Suddenly, Petruchio looks less pale and a bit rosier and healthier. It's amazing.
Ah, I see you are joining us. I'll order another one then. Zell, 5 shots of moonshine, if you please.
All right. At this point, I'm going to have you roll some dice.
Okay.
Everyone give me a stamina survival roll.
And what is that, a D10?
Yes, it's everything comes down to 1d10. And then if there are you add your modifiers to add +1s. And then I add my modifiers to give you -1s or negative other numbers.
Okay. I got an 8.
Well,
Let me see what to add
I have
to it.
3 dots in stamina and 2 in survival. Is that what I'm looking at?
Yeah, you'd add 5 to your
but you
D10.
also have a skill specialty. What does it say?
Where am I looking?
In the column after the dots, it'll say survival and then some dots and then another word.
Ah, drugs.
Drugs. There's a reason you're still alive.
Yeah.
Okay, it's under what?
And your plug-in computer kind of quickly, like without you even having to do a search, is just like cross-referencing moonshine and all of these other drugs for possible, and it's like inconclusive. Probably okay, but maybe not.
Okay, so I rolled an 8. So I add 5, or how does this work?
You rolled an 8, so you roll all of those dots, or you add all those dots. So you said you had 3 and 2, so that's a +5, and then a +1 for the skill specialty in holding your drugs.
Okay.
Don't worry, Alex. It'll be fine.
Okay. I don't know what I'm looking at.
I'll bring up your character sheet if I need to and tell you what you're rolling.
Okay, I rolled an 8.
Oh, no, you're fine.
So successes go 8, 11, 14, 17, 20. So that's
That was my natural roll was an 8.
Okay.
I don't know any of this.
That's fine. Well, an 8 gets you at least 1 success, and I didn't give you any negative modifiers.
Yay, okay.
So, Klaus, how many successes did you get?
How many dice am I supposed to
There's an 8 plus a 6, which is 14.
3
Yeah.
successes.
Oh, I was supposed to roll 2.
No, you only roll 1d10.
Roll 1d10. And
Roll
then
1d10 and then add your dots. Under physical skills, is survival, and under attributes is stamina. So if you have any dots in stamina, add those dots to your survival under physical. If you don't have any dots in survival under physical, subtract 1 instead.
Okay, so I got a 10.
So that's still 1 success. Klaus got 3. Shrukio, how'd you do?
Do you want me to roll for this? Like,
Yes.
what this would affect me?
Wolf Country Moonshine, yes.
I probably, okay.
Well, think about some of the drinks that your people have and what happens when other people try to drink them. I forget what it's called.
I got 9 total, so 1 success.
Okay. And Dune, Dune, what'd you get?
Roll a 9, I get a +5, so I got 3 successes.
Okay. So Trukio and Pricely. Wow, that's a lot of P's. Okay. Why did I? Anyway.
You did this to yourself.
I did this to myself. So Dune and Klaus, as is probably predicted, you're nicely buzzed by this. It's like, ooh, this is nice. Your throat tingles, yay! Petruchia and Fen, you are hard buzzed. I'm not gonna make you start taking penalties yet, but depends on what else you do. No one botched, so yay! And if you roll a 1 on your D10, it doesn't matter how many dots you have to add to it.
It's an autobot.
And if the modifiers I give you reduce your dots to 0, then we come up with a whole new fun plan. But we're not there yet because we were taking things slow this game. So yeah.
That hits the spot. Reminds me of home.
This shit's good, man.
What?
Can't believe I haven't tried it before.
What is in this?
I am having such a good time.
Brewed in the country, and I believe the main ingredient is, I believe, apples. But I could be wrong about that.
No, it's not apples.
I
I've had
love
before.
apples.
This is something besides apples.
Apples are so good, everyone.
I simply said that there was the main ingredient was apples.
I want some apples.
Well, what's in it?
Well, mainly apples.
And
Apple.
You don't ask a werewolf clan their recipe for moonshine. That's the way to start a clan war. Fights have been broken out over less.
Hold on 1 second.
Indeed, I remember my cousin asked an unrelated werewolf of the Red Talon tribe out in the country her recipe for jam tarts, and the fight that started lasted almost 2 hours and resulted in the complete and total destruction of a very prized blackberry patch. They are still not speaking to our clan, to the clan I used to belong to anymore after that incident.
you said there's blackberries in this and apples?
I simply said that a disagreement between one of my kin and one of the Red Talon tribe currently out in the country resulted in the loss of a very valuable and old blackberry patch.
I don't think it's the blackberries either.
You would be correct. It is not blackberries.
It's wrong.
Listen, to put it into drunk speak, he said, don't ask what's in it, because it could literally start a war to do so.
Indeed.
Just
I don't want
appreciate
to
it,
start
man.
wars.
Come on.
I just want to enjoy my glow drinks.
Yeah,
I love glow drinks.
from the name Dune, I had a certain story in mind for your character's hometown. Dem packs. Dem packs is crazy. Speaking of werewolves, which our Welsh friend often does, Dune, roll me. Since you're only lightly buzzed, roll me a. Oh, you and Klaus are both only lightly buzzed. So roll me wits investigation.
Yes, just a taste of home. Wits and investigation. Cool.
Actually, wits occult. And
That's better for me.
They're the same for me, so.
+1 if you have a skill spec in spirits or wolfy stuff.
Okay, well, I rolled a 10, first of all.
Okay, so add your wits and your occult rating. Which
Are you having 10s explode?
I'm adding 10 to it.
10s can explode, yes. Oh, you rolled a 10 on the die?
I rolled a 10 on the die.
Then you can roll again.
Okay.
I rolled a 7, and I have got 6, so I'm at 13.
And I rolled a 10 again. This is weird.
Do it.
Statistically improbable.
Do it again!
Okay.
I don't know if they explode more than once, but I say yes.
And that's a 1.
Okay, we won't count that against the 2 10s.
Okay.
Well, actually, okay.
It cancels out 110.
Well,
That would be fair.
It's our first game. I like the mayhem. Actually, I have an idea for the one. So, Dune, how many successes did you get?
I got 2 successes because I got a 13.
Okay, and Klaus, you got like a bajillion successes?
I got like a 30.
You got like a 30 and a 31. So Dune and Klaus, you get this weird ringing in the back of your ear. Feel like,
I haven't heard something like that since the hunters brought the dog whistle to the farm.
Klaus,
That's not
you
part of the
actually-
moonshine, right?
I'm going to mark down, Klaus, that you're actually taking a damage from this.
Okay.
It's like, like you were having a nice trip, and then like, and then ow.
Oh no.
So,
Luna, damn it all. Who is whistling?
you guys need another one. You'll feel better.
actually, Dune, you know what this is right away. And you kind of look up and you see there's a little bat spirit hanging from this little perch above the bar, or this little like just some kind of like architectural detail. There's a little bat hanging off of it, and it's trying to get your attention. Klaus, you also see it, but god damn it, it's loud.
I'm not gonna point. I'm gonna flip it off.
Cease your damn whistling, you stupid bat spirit.
Oh no, June. This is from your auntie.
Oh.
This is how your auntie generally sends you messages when she's busy.
Aye, but it never gets any less annoying.
Yeah.
You call that annoying?
Rats are used to me flipping them off.
It's fucking lethal.
At this point, they take it as an invitation to come and land on my finger and just hang off my finger while they talk to me. At this point, I get it so often.
What's really crazy is it seems to be eating a goblin fruit as it's hanging from your. So yeah, that's happening. Fen and Petruchio, you are having such a trip because is that bat really there? You don't know. Oh god, oh gods. Because yeah, this is
I don't know. This is really weird.
Hanging off my finger, like, you little bastard, stop eating it and give me the damn message, you stupid thing.
That's so cute.
Wouldn't be cute if you could hear it.
It's goblin fruit, and then it looks kind of sad.
Presley, may I borrow another one of your damn goblin fruits? I saw you pick them up on the way over.
Oh yeah, totes. Here we go. Yeah. Absolutely. I'll feed it to Mr. Batty.
The goblin fruits. No, you don't get the
goblin fruit. Can I pet Mr. Batty?
Damn message, you little bastard.
Can I pet the bat?
Message first. I'll roll for intimidation.
Okay.
Can I pet the bat?
Yeah, you think so. You can't see it quite clearly, but you think you can.
Actually, no, I'm going to do animal can instead, because I'm trying to bribe it.
Yeah, we'll go that.
Do you want manipulation or intelligence or wits?
For intimidation, that would be presence.
Okay, but for animal can?
Yeah, presence, animal can. I would allow that.
Okay. Not exactly my best skill, but okay. That's a 5 plus 3, so that's an 8, so that's 1 success.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's a very small spirit. It's like barely even a level 1 spirit.
Yeah.
So you're like, message first! So it kind of jabbers to you. I don't think I put spirit speak on your character sheet, but I should have. Basically, the language of the spirits is the language of the Aratha. You can't really speak it that well because you have a human mouth rather than a wolfy wolf mouth. But you know, your aunt taught it to you because little spirits are useful. It's the big ones that become problematic. And basically it intones to you, and it's weird, that there are some anger spirits and some other kind of bad elements starting to circle around the area like vultures. So not saying you have to do anything, but maybe keep your eyes peeled in case anything weird happens. Because it looks like what you, when you were in your bouncer days, would have called like blood in the water. Like to you guys walking over, everything seemed fine. It's a nice sunny day in the fall and nice and temperate. Goblin fruits and apples and
in the evening because we don't do day drinking around the carve.
Yeah, it's not quite sunset yet. Not that we have to care about that when vampires can walk around in the daytime. So yeah, it's like it's something weird. You know, keep your eyes peeled. Keep this little guy with you in case you need our help. Like we're patrolling around. You know, we're in the neighborhood because something weird's going on.
All right. I'll give it the goblin fruit provided to me by my good friend Presley, and then it will just sit on my shoulder and eat like the greedy little bastard it is. Don't just start that squeaking again, or you'll see how fast you can go on your arse.
Hanging from your shoulder is a little awkward for Bat. Well, actually, no, Bat's kind of like spread out on your shoulder, like, oh, and so it's kind of like putting its head back and like, nom nom nom. But it's so cute, Fen. You're not sure your hand is actually connecting with it because it's a spirit bat, but you think it is because you're high on werewolf moonshine.
It's adorable now, but if that thing starts screeching again, it's going to die. Shut up.
As long as it's eating, it's not screeching. Yeah, you've got a headache, and you were like, oh, man.
I'm not happy with the spirit bat.
Would you like to troll would you like to practice healing with the roll?
Sure.
You're injured. Because if you're like this, going into the club back into the club further back, it's not going to be fun. So you roll intelligence plus medicine plus any equipment you might have. I would include aspirin or whatever you take that's stronger than aspirin. So all you really need is 1 success.
Okay, so I got a 10 overall.
Okay. Yep, so you're just like, and you put something else in your moonshine. And just, now you're free basing. And
I'm looking at the bat after I slam my drink back down. I'm going, you bastard.
Just know that it belongs to my aunt, and she does not really appreciate having to train new ones, so deal with it at your own risk. If you want to squish it, I'm not going to stop you, but you should be aware of all the consequences.
Thanks for letting me know.
The only reason I don't have a headache is because I'm used to your shenanigans. Eat your damn fruit.
There are also just like bowls of more goblin fruit just out on the bar and the tables. Like, it is everywhere. And a great deal of the local goblin fruit and fruit in general is apples, because there is an apple on the system flag.
This wouldn't be because it's Idun, is it? Would it?
It is a green apple, so maybe.
Oh my god!
I love that joke works in 2 mythologies. It's excellent.
That's why I like the pronunciation Idun, because it's punny. It's a little bit punny. Oh, chat, if you don't like puns, this may not be the game for you. Just heads up. Be more afraid of Merc than me on that regard, because they think faster on their feet than I do. Oh, someone loves puns. Okay. Woohoo!
Yeah. I'm going to take one of the rolls of goblin fruit from the bar top and just slide most of it into one of my pockets.
Oh yeah, no problem. Even if they frowned on doing that, Dune can do it here, because Dune. Don't mess with them. Dune is he him pronouns?
Yes.
Okay. So yeah, like you drink here for free. You can take as much stuff as you want, basically.
I mean, it's goblin fruit. I'm just taking a shortcut and picking it up. I could get it from the parks for free if I so chose, but I don't have that kind of time. It's not what you'd call expensive.
Yes, and it grows super fast, which is not worrying at all. That's normal, right?
Especially in a city.
Yeah.
That is very worrying, but I'm not sure my character would be quite aware of that.
It's definitely really strange, but like,
It's so
I don't know, nothing happened. It's really convenient. Like, honestly, I think all the changelings should move here. It's like the best. There's goblin fruit literally everywhere. Like, it's literally the best place to live if you're a changeling. I mean, the red thorn's like a little worrying, but like, it's fine. Everyone seems to think it's fine, so.
Well, I don't know that I could do anything about it if I did worry about it, so I chose not to worry about it. But I know that the goblin fruit does not grow this fast outside in the countryside. I'll just leave that there.
Seen it in the countryside. You see regular fruit in the countryside, but not this weird magic stuff.
We don't grow it. There's no changelings out in the countryside, not when they have to deal with a rasa to do so. Because honestly, most of the packs out in the countryside are a bunch of bastards. Mean bastards.
I'll just have to take your word for it.
My sainted mother was one of the biggest bastards I knew, and that's saying something.
You think everybody's a bastard.
Have I been wrong yet?
It's a good go-to, though. You gotta be fair.
Look, you guys talk about it. I'm gonna get another drink, and with that, I will leave the bar and make my way to the dance floor.
Cool. The bartender, yeah. Do you pick another drink of moonshine, or do you try something?
No, I say I'm going to get another drink, and then I immediately stand up and leave the bar.
Oh, yes. So you
to go refresh themselves.
So would you like to make a roll for getting your drink?
I mean, it's probably going to take me some time to pick, which drink I want. But I want to just go see what was available on the dance floor, because that's where there's a lot of drinks.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there are a lot of drinks, and some of them are very happy to be drinks.
My companions who may or may not know that I'm a vampire can do something about it if they so choose to.
Presumably, this is not our first time at Saga, certainly not mine, but maybe not Petruchio's either.
Yeah, some of the working persons are out on the dance floor too. They probably suspect by now, but there are also people you don't know on the dance floor,
right.
Including some fellows of yours that are probably also looking for a drink. Because this bar, while it's very much a neighborhood kind of place for the city, you're also right next to the older spaceport in the city. So there are also a lot of travelers, merchants, pirates, and yeah.
No, but I'm
zero is
the bar has. Sorry, I was going to go ahead.
Rule 1 in this place is basically just, if you're going to do something, make sure it's consensual or we beat you up.
That's what I was going to say.
So, but that's not impossible to find in this particular bar.
But I was just going to imply that Petruchio, not being their first time to the bar, I'm presuming, would know the rules about safe, sane, and consensual, as it were.
Oh, people are always consensual when I tell them to be. It's fine. I don't understand what the problem is here.
I'm not saying anything to you. You may do as you like.
Snack, tell them where to be in X number of minutes, and then we'll have a little, that's all good.
So you still need to roll for it.
All right. I'll pick out a nice looking snack and use my dominate ability to tell them to meet me around the corner where there's like private rooms or whatever.
Yep, you can probably score a private room.
Okay.
I forget what the funeral is.
What the what?
I forget what the roll for that is.
You have it on my sheet.
Yeah. Or you could just roll for dominate, yeah.
All right, I got a total of 15, so that's 3 successes.
Yep, you find a person that seems pretty willing anyway. You probably didn't have to whammy them, but whammying people is fun.
It's just what I'm used to, and
Yeah.
So.
But yeah, they one of the local persons of your preferred gender is like, oh sure, come meet me in my room. The 15 that's like 3 or 4 successes. It's 3. But yeah,
Great.
they're like, oh yeah, come hang out in my room with me.
Yeah,
So,
I'm gonna
yeah,
do that.
here, go have some fun. And some snacks. And some snacks. So that happens.
I'll have another shot, this time of
Yep.
whiskey. Just plain whiskey.
Woohoo!
I'm just gonna copy Dune.
Yeah.
I trust his sense of what's good alcohol.
True, but after the
I
munch,
like
pay for
Dune.
your own drinks.
Yeah, that's fine. Listen, we all have jobs. I get paid, okay?
I am such a good salesperson. I just want you to know that. I'm really, really good at sales. So I am
I finally
really
have seen-
are.
Sorry.
so good
Finally,
to
I've
my
seen
drinks.
it work.
Thank you. Hmm.
And fine work it is too.
Thank you. I try.
Yes. So Patricio, you're off with your friend. And they have their own little room off to the side, off the catwalk. And yeah, they're one of the more cheerful workers. So nothing too weird or kinky in here. But
Oh,
but they
it'll be
also have
very,
goblin fruit and
very, very discreet.
Merc, no. Sorry.
oh, no. I'll find out.
What happened?
I don't know. I went to the wrong part of the screen.
I am innocent of all wrongdoing.
Yeah, okay. So yeah, this is a nice non-gendered person. They're super cute. You've seen them before. You know, you talk to them maybe a little while. They're thinking of going into law school.
Ah, they hate themselves, I see.
But yeah, they know the drill. Oh,
I think a room just went a bit dark, but I'd like to make a roll to survey the room. Because my aunt doesn't send a bat spirit with no reason, and neither do Vulture Circle without there being something dead or dying.
yep.
What,
alright,
like me?
so
Only half the time.
dead and loving it.
True.
So, survey the room. I'll say that's another. I'd say that's wits investigation or wits socialize, whichever is higher. I'm maybe misremembering how socialize
I
works.
don't have socialize on my sheet, but I do have
Okay, so then-
investigation.
Investigation.
Oh, I do.
No, we're good.
That is not where I expected to
Socialize
find
is a social.
Sorry. So that's 8 plus investigation 3 and wits 3. 14. 3 successes.
Okay. Oh, 4 successes. Yeah, you
3 successes.
are.
3 successes.
So you're scanning the room, and everyone in here seems like really chill. You maybe notice another person kind of out, but so you know there are windows that face out to the street. Yeah, the bar itself is kind of like nestled under a bridge for one of the trains that goes like it kind of goes from the hub and it goes over and then under, and then this is the bridge. And okay,
Right.
It's very pretty.
Yeah.
And all clean, renewable energy.
Yeah, there's some dart trains like that, yeah.
This is a nice cyberpunk city. So
Does
And
exist?
Utopia.
this one exists. It kind of blows your mind that it exists at all, because that is not normal for the Expanse. Most Expanse planets are just one giant round ball of city and misery and
Like Coruscant.
pollution. And this place, they had a plan and they followed it, and it's like, whoa, that can happen. Like there actually are plans for suburban sprawl, and they follow them, and it's oh my god. Anyway, so they're by the entrance where the more like restaurant bar area is. You know, there are windows, and there's tables up against the windows, and there's someone just sort of. You can tell that they're watching kind of outside. You know the look, that's someone who can see spirits. You can't necessarily see them unless they want to be seen by you.
Yeah.
Because
I'm not that kind of wolf-blooded.
Yeah, your wolfy heritage only gets you so far.
Yeah. I'm one of the more physical ones.
Yeah. So yeah, this young person is just kind of looking around. You know, you're pretty sure they're not a werewolf because you'd know. So maybe they're a mage or some other kind of spirit medium, because some humans do have that aren't wolfy at all, and shit happens. But yeah, they're kind of, it looks like they're a little tense and they're watching confused out the window. And it's like, what's going on out there? But that's really the only person who's perturbed. And the message was like spirits of anger and hatred. And
can I smell what they're drinking? The person who's looking out the window.
They just have like a beer, like a bottle of beer.
All right. Like I'll speak to the bartender to get a beer like they've got, and then I'll go over with my whiskey and their beer and sit down at the table with them.
Zell is shocked that you want a cheap beer until she realizes what you're doing. And then she's like, oh my God, okay. Are you okay? Oh, I see. And it's like, all right. So yeah, that person's just sitting by themselves and you sit down next to them? Or table?
Can I sit across from them?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. No, so sit down across from them and slide in the beer. Do you mind if I sit here?
Oh, my girlfriend's coming in a few minutes, but okay. Hi.
The name's Idun. I have noticed that you were looking out the window, and I have reason to be wary of things going around. May I ask what you're looking at?
There are some, and she kind of looks around at the bar and is like, yeah, this is a safe place. She's like, there are some spirits outside.
I think there's one phrase to her. I forgot what it is.
Oh, no, that's with other wolf bloods?
Yes, but you might recognize it.
Odum Dutakus? You can say it.
Cool, yeah. I'm going to say it, but I'm also going to write it down so I don't forget it again.
Yeah.
May not be how you spell it, but let's remember this time. Sorry.
So you say it? Say it. Say it.
Odum Dutakus.
Oh, okay. Yeah, there's some really angry, mean spirits outside. I don't really know why though, because like everyone seems super chill. Like I guess there are a lot of people in the park all of a sudden, but I don't like it's a nice, chill, warm, fried. Like I don't like nothing. Like I work in the financial district. Did anything weird happen here today in this neighborhood?
Not so far as I'm aware, but no, at least you'll be safe inside the bar. They keep a number of bouncers on hand who are well prepared to deal with any sort of nonsense or tomfoolery that tries to come in through the door.
Okay, thanks. Yeah, I've been here before. It's really nice. So,
I'll stand up and give her the nod. Okay. Enjoy your beer. Thank you for your information.
Okay. No. Oh no, she says as something catches her attention out the window, and that crowd in the park gets a bit louder. Someone has a space megaphone, because it's not just a normal megaphone, it's a space megaphone, and is yelling something that you can't quite make out, and there are people with signs, and someone's trying to start a ruckus out there in the Metro Park. Uh-oh.
Well, as I said, miss, stay inside and you'll be safe enough. I'll go back to the bar and I'll sit down and I'll leave the beer there, but I'll take my whiskey with me because there's no sense leaving good whiskey with cheap beer. And I'll sit down and I'll poke the bat spirit. If you're quite finished with the damn fruit, I have a message for my auntie, if you can take it to her. There's a gathering in... What's the name of the park?
It's the Metro Park, because it's right outside the Metro hub.
There's a gathering in the Metro Park that looks to be stirring up trouble, and it may be the target of the spirit she mentioned. So, let her know about it. All right, off with you.
It kind of flips and the spirit seeing person sort of notices like, okay. It's like, uh-oh.
Yeah.
Ease away.
Is it the same noise it made when it was screeching earlier?
Yeah, but it's going away from you, so it doesn't hurt as much.
Ear piercing, got it.
I'm just gonna mutter bastard after it.
Yeah, you're like, oh,
but just so you're aware, Klaus, and you, Presley. Presley, are you awake?
I'm gonna nudge Presley.
May be a bit under the weather, as it were. Well,
Presley's a little drunk.
Anyway, tell me about the bullshittery that's going on.
Well, Klaus, we may be having a problem outside the bar, but until someone pays us to deal with it, I don't think it'll be our problem.
Cool, because I'm off the clock.
True, as am I. And never do for free what you can get paid for. And that's the mercenary way. Would you like another whiskey?
Yeah.
Bartender, thank you kindly.
Okay, so, you guys are continuing to drink. The ruckus outside is getting progressively louder and angrier sounding, but you still can't quite make out the words. You do see one police officer starting to hurriedly walk past the bar towards the ruckus.
I'm just gonna, follow them with my eyes as they walk past the front of the bar.
They do not notice you.
I'm sitting on the bar like this, arms on the bar or whatever, and I'm just watching the people go by outside the windows.
Yeah, a bunch of people have started to notice what's going on outside, and some of you might notice Zell is readying her 6-shot little buddy under the bar, just in case. But otherwise, I.
You're supposed to come inside, Zell.
I hope not, because I don't want to deal with that tonight. It's just, what the hell is going on out there?
From the sound of it, and from the look of it, probably some sort of riot forming up.
Ugh.
If I had to guess, I'd say somebody was trying to stir up more, core sentiment, as it were, and anti-supernatural. I sent word to my aunt, the huntress. Oh, God.
All right, well, she can deal with it if anyone can, but...
The sentinel, yes.
All right. So, yeah, I guess we'll keep an eye on it.
Zell?
I don't know if that one little police cop's gonna do much.
Zell, a bottle of water, please.
Oh, it's about to get real. She hands you a bottle of water. Oh, dear.
Well,
she looks over at Presley.
And your little 6-shooter is not going to be doing much now, will it? And I'll chug you off the water.
It doesn't hurt to be prepared.
No, it does not.
Fan, do you want some water? I'm not even going to ask. I'm just going to put it down in front of you.
I think that's a really good idea because it's getting so scary outside.
Okay, can I do, medicine to make us all sober up a bit?
You probably got something stimulating.
Slam an aspirin or something in front of
I would love some water.
Just take it.
I'll make you roll for it, though.
Okay, me roll.
No, Klaus has to roll because they're trying to sober you up with medicine. With a little bit of medicine.
This will work.
It's an 11.
Okay. You give her something that will wake her up without going directly against the effect of the moonshine and killing her. Yay. You find one of the low-grade things that you give to noobs. Okay. And you just sort of put it in her water, and as Priceley's drinking it, it's like, oh, you wake up a bit. Oh, okay.
Just drop it in her water, pat her on the back, just say, just drink it. It'll be fine.
Okay.
It's okay to put something in someone's drinks if it's consensual. You trust it. You trust them.
I trust Klaus.
Yeah.
That's my friendo.
Terrible
I'm
decision,
good.
really. Just kidding.
I think it's fantastic. I am going to run headfirst into danger. Yes, please. Please feed me the concoction. I would like to drink the poison drink, please.
This time it's not
I
poison.
mean, you did that when you drank the moonshine to begin with, to be perfectly honest with you. It's not really meant for the non-Yaratha.
Okay, but it's like really good though.
So,
Close.
you're hanging out in someone's room, and they have like a little intercom, or no, they have their phone is just on their dresser, and it beeps a certain number of beeps that is means it's a company group text, because you've been here before and you know the folks here, and it's like, oh, an important thing is happening, maybe, or something. And they sort of just pick up their phone. I'm sorry, I have to take this because it's and they look at it and they're like, oh shit, there might be a riot starting outside. So I guess I'll be staying inside tonight. Luckily, we have a good DJ.
This is my guy who's saying that?
This is the person you have been hanging out with in their room off the dance floor.
The one you've
for
been
snacks.
necking with.
Yes. Nom.
Does my second drink sober me up from my first drink?
Yeah, we'll say that because you could just burn Vitae to reverse that, I'm sure. So yeah, we'll say you can get enough from a human, from this nice person to Red Bull.
Okay.
Gives you alertness.
But not wings.
Not-
No. No.
It's funny how a Bloody Mary makes you less
Does
drunk.
not
Depends on the
actually give
Supernat.
you wings.
Many changelings have tried. It does not give you wings. Unless you make the house brew Red Bull from the local goblin fruit. But we won't get into that right now. So yeah, so you sober up. So yeah, there's apparently a riot starting outside. Presumably we'll be safe in here, but do you go check it out? Because your bros are also outside, or closer to outside, last you saw.
Yeah. How long have we been in here?
I'll say it's been like an hour or a half hour that they've been drinking and goofing off and noticing the increasing of spirits in the area. And
That's a lot of drink for an hour or half hour.
No, I
dear.
flat out asked that to my dude. How long have we been in here?
Are you texting us or whatever?
I don't know, because time gets weird for me when I'm around kindred. I just don't really know. But anytime.
Yeah, about that. We were just kissing. I don't know about this kindred stuff. So can I dominate him again to make him think that we were just kissing?
Oh, sure.
All right.
They might have clocked you earlier and then oh well. Now they've
Okay.
forgotten.
That's 13, so 2 successes.
Yeah, we'll say you are not a kindred. And they're just sort of they're a bit okay. And they just kind of sit as their brain recalibrates.
Yeah, it was just kissing, but I should get back to my friends now.
All right.
But, I come here a lot, so maybe I'll see you some other time. And
Yeah.
I'll leave.
I'd like that. Yeah, you're cool.
All right,
Okay,
you sit there and feel better.
Because they're also maybe a little blood loss.
Maybe, for some reason. I don't know.
But they have actual B vitamins on their dresser, so it's like they prepared for this. Life in Eden City.
So I'm going to go back to the bar.
Some people are fang bangers. It takes all time.
Yes.
Yes, some people are very fond of sucking.
Especially in Old Town. Yes.
So I'm going to find my coworkers.
Yeah, they're all still at the bar.
Apparently there's a
There
riot.
appears to be some sort of riot starting outside. Just thought you ought to know, boss.
Yeah, what's it about? What?
You still can't see quite or hear quite what they're saying, but they are getting louder and angrier as more people show up with more space megaphones. And they have their signs, but they're kind of, the signs are facing away from you because they're kind of like up at the backs to the edge of the park where there's a nice like
Natural amphitheater.
not real it's more like there's a high metal fence that's like very nicely wrought, so some kind of dark colored metal. This looks very fancy. So yeah, you're not exactly sure where Auntie is, but depending on where they are in the territory, it could take them a bit longer to get here, since they generally insist on parkouring over the buildings. So
it's more faster than trying to run through the damn streets or trying to get to you through traffic. So, you know.
Everyone in your auntie's pack does parkour. You're pretty sure every wolf that lives in this city does parkour. It's just that some of them do it on the rooftops and some of them do it in the sewers, depending on the pack.
Yeah. And individual preferences. I mean, vertigo isn't very common in werewolves, but those that have it really don't like going over the rooftops.
And the rooftops in Old Town are not that high, but the ones in the rest of the megacity are just like, oh god, it's a megacity.
Yes.
Okay.
Rukio, I told my aunt about the riot, and because she'd mentioned earlier to me, sent me a little annoying as shit bat spirit about anger spirits coming up and around, so they'll probably be getting into a riot in here in the near future. But I don't know when she's going to arrive because the little bat spirit hasn't come back, and I don't really have a way to get another.
Yeah, a couple other cops have started going towards it. One of whom you recognize as a fellow wolf cousin, so, or a wolf blood. So it's like, and he's a young guy. Like, oh, you're not sure. Like,
he's
no, you haven't
killed.
Yeah. No one's done anything horrible yet from where you can see, but they are getting super angry and super mean. And the lady you were talking to by the windows has started like helping the staff to edge people away from the windows and further back towards the club side, just in case.
Zell, I think you should put the storm shutters down. Patrukio, do you mind if I went outside and see what I could do? I'm afraid one of my cousins is about to get embroiled in something particularly dangerous, and I mean, he's not the brightest apple in the bunch, but family is family, and you can't leave him there to be killed, at least not without trying something first. Unless, of course, he's the one who killed the blackberry patch, in which case you might be the one trying to drown him in the cistern. But that's a story for another day.
That seems oddly specific.
We're not
As I said, it was a story for another day.
You don't need my permission to go help your family.
Well, you are the boss, and you're technically what you might call a work pack, if you will. I mean, there's nothing particularly. It's not as strong as, say, an actual another wolf-blooded, but I do owe you some loyalty, and that includes where I might be killed. So I do kind of need your permission.
It would be super annoying if Dune died. He's so useful.
I know some people.
I guess I'd better go with you then.
I will totally help.
Yes! Presley, you can totally help.
Possibly after a break. I need to go do something.
Okay.
Presley, go throw up in the bathroom. You can catch up with us later.
Okay.
Fantastic.
I think I said 9:30 for break. I'm going to say I actually meant 8:30 because that's actually an hour and a half. So if we do want to take a 5-minute break before things get crazy, we can do that.
I would love that.
Cool.
All right.
Okay, perfect.
And all right, so those of you watching at home or wherever, I do not have a save screen, but also I don't really need a break because I'm strange, and I'm a spoonie. So if I stop doing the thing, I will immediately fall apart and be unable to continue. So I'm just gonna hang out here with you, chat. Yep, break time. And so let me look back at chat, and if you have any questions about the setting or the system that we have, or that I have hobbled together from multiple versions of NWAD, feel free to ask. Ooh, Earl Grey decaf. Yum. I had some tea and absinthe Irish cream tea, which is black tea and cocoa bits, and it's basically a Bailey's themed tea, and it's very good. Tea and absinthe. They have wonderful teas online. Oh, hi, Justin. Oh yes, Justin. I saw you're like, I survived Gotham Kniggets, and yes. Yeah, let's just hope a certain invisible friend doesn't show up, because that's, you know, things have gone off the rails then. Like, oh dear. You see Cogs is running additional. Oh! I think Vampiric Yoda, I think you mentioned that to me earlier. Was at another con, and then I completely spaced out. Yes, and I said you mentioned Cogs on your stream, and I had earlier said I had no idea what you're talking about, and I was so like, must continue research game stuff, because so luckily, fingers crossed, my computer hasn't crashed yet, because I have had multiple computers crash on me this week, and oh, it is crazy. It is so nuts. So, oh, okay. Is Cogs running all weekend or just today? Because I know Dark Side of the Con is doing another thing. Okay, so tea. Maybe I should have made some mint tea. Sucking jokes, yes. I'd take your drugs if I was in this game. Oh, so Drax been talking in chat the whole time. Okay, here I can chat with chat. I don't know why I can't do that on other StreamYard streams I've been on, but maybe, I don't know. But Dune was going to try and intimidate the fruit then for a moment. You know, if they want to roll for it, I will let it happen. You had me at acid trips. Oh, you're going to love this game. Lithster. Lithster? Hello. Assassin Coco. I don't know what that link is, so okay. Louis Sasha, hello. Well, this is already more viewers than I was expecting. I do not actually have Twitch open right now because I'm afraid what happens if I open it and my computer crashes. So how are things looking on the main Twitch site? Assassin Coco is a spam bot. Yeah, maybe, yeah. I know that can happen. Oh, shoot. And I did not have the private chat on, and I missed some things. Okay. Oh, no, now I've got the Welsh cadence. It's contagious. Okay, thanks, Justin. Good to see you. Thank you for coming to watch our weird stream. So a little bit of background. This is based on a LARP I ran for Mind's Eye Society at their Northeast regional event this time last year. And thus I've been technically working on this project on and off for 2 years because I had the initial idea for this game setting a year before that. And it's been 5 minutes, so hopefully my friends return soon. Hello, Klaus.
Hi.
So, I regret nothing about running an MES con game for Space the Infinite Edge. Like, it was fine. I knew when I initially handed in the application to run the game, plus the 13-page plot treatment, that it would not look the same by the time I was ready to run stuff, or by the time con rolled around, because that's just how a national game works. But since we're all in quarantine, and my brain doesn't really want to do any writing aside from, like, RPG-related writing, first, you'll notice the word radio is in the station title. That's because I was going to make this into a play podcast, or a live play podcast, and then realized that editing is a lot of work, and my computers are kind of broken. So I thought it would be less work and less taxing to just stream it. So, oh, hi, Arcane. I have to bring up Twitch. Yay, thanks, Arcane. Hello.
It is chocolate strawberry tea.
Ooh.
In a lovely Sasquatch donut mug.
Yay! I'm sure there's a Sasquatch donut shop somewhere in Eden City.
Excellent.
Yes.
This
just
one
remind me
was
later.
on Pikes Peak. And I got it as a souvenir mug, and I have 0 regrets.
Awesome. Oh, no problem, Merc. Oh, wait, you're right there. Yeah, right. Yeah, I can actually chat with chat on the sidebar. I wasn't able to do that during the during the Dead Gentleman stream.
Yeah, we can't.
Oh, okay, so it's because
I've been chatting through Twitch.
Okay.
That's because you're the presenter.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So Dawn can
Sasquatch slippers,
but we can't.
Okay.
So I popped over to Twitch for a second. That's how I put those in, but most of the time, no.
Okay. Yeah, I'm afraid to open Twitch because it might crash my computer.
Computer and bandwidth can handle it, so I've got it open. I'm kind of keeping an eye out.
Okay, the Intel core is less bad now, but it's still really high, and it's covered in ice. I don't know. Thank you for that idea, for that tip, though, because I'm very new to functional computer problems.
I've had to do it. I had a modem when I was younger at the parents' house that was sitting next to a window in Texas. So during the summer, when it got too hot, the entire internet went out for the house. So we'd go and we'd put ice on it. And that's how we did it. It's not a Tom Smith song, but he covers it, called "When I Was a Boy." So my PC for the Space LARP is, think of a cyberpunk Miss Marple. She may or may not already be in, that's not her name, so she may or may not already be in someone's background. You just don't know it yet. But yeah, that's one of the inspirations is the song is like, I'm older than computers, lol. When I was a boy, our IP address was 3. Kind of, yeah. We carried our bits in a bucket. And like, oh, it's awesome. But yeah, hi chat. We're making Miss Marvel, Carol Danvers, or what? Why are you asking? Miss Marple, not Miss Marvel.
Miss Marple with a P. She's a British detective, little old lady British detective. So basically, this is a supercomputersy person but you'd never think of it because people are still prejudiced against the elderly. And this is actually her, I hate calling it a kimono because I know too many costume history majors, but it's, you know, cardigan. With your little dragonies that I embroidered because I'm a huge nerd. Yeah. Cross Sherlock with Edna Emo. Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, but also,
Yeah.
Or cross Sherlock with his housekeeper.
Well, you move the things to get them out of the frame.
Yeah.
Okay.
I also need to do.
Sunburst. You might say.
I'm not sure she has her headphones on, so I doubt she can hear us.
Oh well.
Alas.
Yeah. Hi, Leicester. Do I know you? Because I figure most of the people watching us are people I know at this point. If not, hello. Thank you for coming to our weird World of Darkness in Space game, where everything's super Norsey. You have only just scratched the surface. Whew. But yeah, while I've written a lot about this city and this setting, players feel free to improv new weird stuff on the off chance. Oh, okay, there's 7 people watching us. That's cool.
Yeah.
Woohoo! And the VOD should be up for 2 weeks. So
You can export it to YouTube if you want.
I may try that. I've never done that before, but then I've never done this before. So, well, I've never run a stream. I've been on some streams whenever.
Did you do the setting in Twitch that lets you save the VOD?
I tried to.
Okay. Just want to make sure because Dawn didn't have it set up for the first Demon Hunters one. It was we lost the whole thing. And I couldn't clip the thing I said I was going to clip. I'm like, oh, sadness.
That's such a mood. I tried streaming D&D last year with my group at school, and we had 4 campaigns running, and the Twitch saved the VODs for 2 weeks, but the guy who said he would export them YouTube didn't export them to YouTube, so we lost the first session of all 4 campaigns.
Oh.
And then he said that it was my job to export them, and I was like,
Nope.
you said you were going to do that, but okay. We're not on speaking terms anymore. Oh well.
I've been there. Not online, not for streaming, but oh, I've been there.
Yeah.
Gamers, man. Gamers, Val. Gamers. But hey, we have 7 people watching us.
Ooh, fun.
Yeah, hi, Lifster? I don't know. But we are speaking in Welsh accents, so.
Sort of. An approximation thereof, I mean.
So, yeah. So, are we ready to launch back in?
Yeah,
I'm good when everyone else is.
All right.
Let's leap into the fray.
You all exit the tavern.
And we are immediately caught up in the stampede.
There isn't a stampede yet. There's a lot of rubbernecking, but a lot of people aren't getting that. Like, a lot of people are kind of watching from the streets across the street from the park. Where's my hand? Because camera. Across the streets, or like right outside the gate and the fence of the park. And cars and buses are like slowing down, and space buses are slowing down as they go past. So there's a lot of rubbernecking, but not a lot of people. It seems like more people are exiting the park to watch from a safe distance because these people are, and the closer you get to it, the more you can hear the kind of thing that's at least one of you suspected might happen, which is we should align with the core for our own safety. Supernaturals are not human. They are unnatural.
Bunch of racist bastards they are.
And they control this city and make us live like slaves. And
I'm sorry, we do what?
I guess people hate free food.
Yeah, man.
Wow.
So, yeah, and it's just a whole lot of humans with signs saying, but they're like, just looking at them, like one of the signs says vampires go back to the hedge, and you're like, wow, they really don't. Like, this is not hard research to do.
This is a lot of bullshittery right here.
Yeah, that's like, a lot of, like...
What do you expect from a bunch of bastards who can't even be bothered to do the research to get their signs right?
True,
in other parts of the Expanse, it's relatively... A lot of Supernats are kind of hiding things closer to the vest now, but in Eden, it's like, really, this is really easy research to do. Like, Bragi Library has, like, a whole, like, computer lab floor that's open 24/7, and like this is easy. Like, you don't even have to go to dark web for this information here. Like, that said, Starnet is watched by the government, but between unions being sneaky and local within system darknets, you guys got some freedoms.
Intolerance is no excuse for ignorance, unfortunately.
Yeah, and they're just
so often the two coincide.
Screaming.
Right there with you.
Okay.
And it's like, we didn't fight the silent war to work for Supernats.
Then go to the fucking floor.
Like that, they're not working for Supernats now. They've been fired from any jobs they had for being a bunch of assholes.
Someone's like, one of the signs is like, burn Mayor Collins, which I won't make you roll for. The current mayor of Eden City is an out vampire of the Carthians. There are space names for all these courts and covenants, but I'm going to use the regular ones because there's a lot going on in this game. So if you want to say Invictus or Unbent Estate or whatever word, like I'll know what you're talking about. But yeah, so Carthian vampire is the current mayor of the city, and they are openly a vampire. And they are kind of nuts, but they keep the city going. Haven't had a problem yet.
There's riots.
I'm going to stand up straight, fix my my guns, and walk over to the back of the riot and go, what's all this then?
So before you do that, as you guys are approaching and you're like, okay, we're going to go in, like a lot of people are leaving. This one group of like teenagers, or people live longer now, so the societal equivalent of teenagers, most of whom you can tell, one of you might be able to tell, are just human, basically walk past while eating goblin fruit, like with an attitude as they exit the park. Because they're like, we like Supernats. They have tasty snacks. When we're not tasty snacks.
Precisely.
They're too young.
Precisely, how likely do you think it'll be that they'll realize they're going to be tripping balls in about 20 seconds after they finish that fruit?
Oh, it is well known that you doubt that they would have started eating it if they didn't want to be tripping balls. Klaus, you can confirm that.
That's true.
Oh, they know what they're doing. They're teenagers.
Well, there's no accounting for youth.
Oh,
Kids, as they say.
Poppity ping.
Poppity ping. Aye.
Poppity ping. Yes. So, yeah, Dune, you don't see any evidence that Auntie has shown up with her bros. With her entourage. Bros is
There'd be a lot more screaming if she had.
Is that how we can tell by the level of screaming whether or not she's shown up?
Honestly, aside from Dune, the rest of you aren't sure you've actually seen Dune's auntie. You've seen evidence, but like she's some kind of ninja. Also bats and rooftops.
To be fair, my sainted aunt would definitely not approve of what's going on here, and they would be moving along whether or not they wanted to. But
you can definitely expect that they are running across rooftops shouting, "Parkour!" parkour, because you have
Younger
to do
ones
that
anyway.
when you're doing
More
parkour.
annoying.
Great
It's the
catchphrase.
rules. It's the law. While doing parkour, you must shout parkour every time you jump. Otherwise,
Of course.
Or we
So-
wear Assassin's Creed cosplay, apparently.
They have those moments for sure. So so yeah, and so you walk into the park with
What
your
phone
friends.
is then?
What?
Talk
Sorry,
to-
I'm like trying to.
Yeah.
Hi.
One of the people with the megaphones is screaming at you. Do not support the supernatural regime. They're brainwashing you.
I'm kind of like slouching along in the back of our little group, but I'm just gonna pause for a moment and flip this guy off as we walk by.
Wait, they're brainwashing me? How?
They take some soap and they put it between your ears and they go scrubba, scrubba, scrubba if you're being particularly stupid.
All the while, this guy is just still screaming. I just don't have the energy to be on a constant scream, and also it's hard
That's
to hear
valid.
the players when I do that.
Yes.
Uh,
Even
Is
if
there
they're
a
not
way
in the same room.
to do something about that?
I don't know. What would you
If
like?
we do something about him, they'll just make him a martyr. No, better to keep going and see if we can diffuse the actual people.
Can I
holding
make him
together
lose his
body.
voice?
Hmm?
Can I make him lose his voice?
What do you want to roll for that? What power do you want to enact?
What? I don't understand my power. I want to enact a. Oh, this is very, very small text. I can't really read on the sheet.
I'm sorry.
Do I have anything that I can?
Let me bring up your character sheet because I know I have it.
Sorry, I'm on it, and there's like a bunch of text that's very, very teeny
Yeah, because
that I cannot read.
it's easier when you print it out, but I forgot that I'm the only psycho that does that anymore. And honestly, my
I don't have a
low. I
printer.
can't.
I'm sorry.
It's okay.
I thought about printing it, and then I
I'm
remembered
old
that
too.
I have 2 monitors, and I would rather have a blank sheet of paper in front of me than a character sheet.
Yeah, the reason I have some of your character sheets is because I did it all pencil and paper because it's just how my brain brains. And then I turned
No,
it
that's
into
okay.
sheets.
If there's not a thing that I can do to make him lose his voice, like that's fine.
Okay, let me. Oh wait, no, that's your background. Let me. Character sheet, Presley.
If it's not gonna work, like it's fine. We can move on.
Okay.
I mean, you're a very
Oh, that
charming
is-
person. You could try talking him down. Or just take your
Yeah,
shirt off.
yeah.
That'll distract him.
Take a what?
Take your shirt off. I mean,
If it makes them leave, I do it.
if you wanted to make him
I
stop,
think you'd have better luck
you'd strike him down that
going
way.
up to the stage with him and like convincing him that you have something to say that's on the same page as him, but then turn it into
Walking away with his microphone.
Oh.
no, actually brainwashing the masses into not following him.
There you go.
Is there a way that I can do that? I mean, I do have like 1,000,000 dots of persuasion.
You guys, I'll be right back. I have to put more ice on my computer.
That's fair.
Good enough. So as we walk through the crowd, the person is yelling, and as we look around, we see my cousin, the other wolf blood. Well, he's not really my cousin, but if he was my cousin, he'd probably be a lot more scarred than he is, even as the family welcome generally involves clawing someone's face open. But he's a cousin in all but blood, and he's one of the police officers. He's going around the edges, and he's trying to make the crowd disperse as it will. Stop malicious lingering. Stop malicious lingering. That's one of the laws, isn't it? Loitering. That's the law. He's trying to get them to stop loitering and move along. As you do. I am trying my damn best.
Oh, it has been a fortnight. Okay. Because I don't know if anyone else is hearing the weird voice effects I'm hearing, but usually that precedes my computer frying itself to death. So,
Oh no!
if the stream suddenly falls off, we'll be back in a second after I fix the technical difficulties. Just assuming the stream itself keeps going, just like talk to chat or role play or have fun.
Okay.
Anyway, so what would you like to do to stymie these assholes?
You know what? I have a shit ton of dots in persuasion. Why don't I talk to this guy?
Do it.
Okay. Supernaturals are evil. Change my mind. Actually,
Okay,
no,
wait.
someone actually has a sign that says that. Because
Oh my god. Wait, so I'm really confused what's going like
there is a protest
I-
going on.
No, I know that. I know I was talking to the guy.
Oh, okay.
It's okay. I will try a different approach.
You say
That
that a
doesn't
lot.
sound like I don't
understand
know
now.
what's going on. Let's go. Okay, yeah, no, these supernaturals, like, I know they're a really big problem. I have had so much happen to me. The supernaturals stole my job. They did.
There is
Stole it real bad.
Germs.
It was so awful. You know what? I would love to share my story.
So I'm gonna. You will have to roll a persuasion.
Shit. Okay.
If you get enough successes, they will hand you a space megaphone.
Okay. So let me check this character sheet and see how many dots or what I do with things. Okay. So my dots are intelligence. So how many dice do I get? Just one?
Okay. I'm gonna say this is a persuasion roll. So looking back at your character sheet.
Yeah.
Um,
Persuasion is where?
Persuasion is a social skill.
Skills,
I will
physical,
say it will
social.
be-
Okay.
It will be
Oh, I have 5 dots.
manipulation. Yeah.
Okay.
So persuasion plus manipulation.
Okay, so 9 plus 5 plus where is manipulation?
It's towards the top.
Manipulation is
Oh,
an
plus
attribute.
4. Okay. Yeah, 5 plus 4. So that's 9 plus 9. So
Yes,
that's 18.
Oh, you got
18
a 9?
is-
You
yeah.
actually, based on what I put on your character sheet, you can re-roll that 9. So you can add.
Why, what's wrong with 9?
No, it's good, but you get 9 again, and 10 again. So
9s and 10s explode, so you can roll them again to add
Yeah.
more to your roll.
Yeah.
So yes, you
Wait.
roll a 9 or a 10, you roll
You
roll
are
by
meant
a
to be
second time and
convincing John.
add the
Okay, so 18 plus the next one plus
Yeah.
1.
We're doing this again, I see.
no, that works.
Why
with
did
what's
I-
gonna happen. So no, you so that was so you rolled a 19.
Yeah. Yep, I did.
So that's
Why the-
well, okay. So yeah, so he's like, "Oh, great," and he just like hands you this this space megaphone and motions you onto. It's not really a stage. It's more like there's a slight incline, or rather, the part kind of dips a bit towards the middle.
Yeah.
So there's a bit of an incline that they're all kind of above you, but it's like up against the gate or the fence. So he just like hands you and motions you to hang out with them because they have no idea what supernaturals look like.
That's fantastic.
Because they're morons. Well, I'm sorry, they're assholes. Morons doesn't mean thing to say,
Perfect.
but
That's perfect.
they're assholes.
Okay.
They're assholes who don't do any research.
No.
So, fuck those guys. So yeah, so you got the megaphone and you were on their staging area. What do you do? What do you say?
Hi everyone. I know that you all are everyone's really, really worked up right now. This is a really, really bad situation that's going on in our city, right? Do I hear anything?
Well, the other protesters, so yeah, but really no one else does.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, it's funny. Today was just supposed to be a fun day of going out and drinking with my friends after work, having some fun at a bar, good time, right?
Yeah.
And then a really funny thing happened. While we were sitting there, apparently some really bad things started happening outside, and everyone got very, very scared. And it's funny, I think about all the terrible things happening to the city, and I'm pretty sure that the worst thing that could possibly happen right now is a bunch of people destroying a public park and threatening the businesses around them. I mean, do you see what's going on here?
Some of them are saying, yeah, and some of them are a little confused.
Yeah, honestly, I would love for it to be so easy. I want to be able to just blame supernaturals, and that's the reason why everything sucks. Like, I want to do that. That's literally what I want to do more than anything else right now. But it's really, really hard to do that when all of you are running around with torches and pitchforks, starting a reign of terror, don't you think?
And they all... I just rolled a d10 and they rolled a 1. So, yeah. So this is moving things along a little faster than I expected, but you also rolled a 1, so we're just gonna stop that there. So what happens is a lot of them are kind of just like slack-jawed and kind of like, wait, what? So it's not that you've changed their minds, you've confused them so much that they're just like, what? Because these are not super smart people.
Clearly.
You're not really sure how this even they're individuals, but it's like, why would they organize in a city where a vampire was voted in for mayor?
Yeah.
And not in the American way, where the vampire then complained and whined until people conceded that he won when he didn't. Anyway.
And yet they still both suck.
So anyway, so they're all kind of like quieting down because they're confused and they're not sure like who you're talking to or at, and they're like, what? And at that moment, you're the sort of person that has kind of an instinct for this. You can't predict when it's going to happen, but when it starts happening, you see it first out of the corner of your eye as you notice red vines starting to grow out around this assembled party. And you realize, like, I'm not going to make you roll to realize you guys are now surrounded by firethorn.
Oh,
well, that's what they call a bit not good.
And the one is you being a bit stunned, going, oh shit. And now it's grown up high enough that you can't just easily step over it. Meanwhile, the assholes you're standing with their space megaphones and their signs have no idea what this is. The rest of the party, you don't have quite the same instinct for it that Priceley does, but you see the firethorn, all the spiky red vines and thorns and leaves that are now weirdly surrounding this party of assholes. Yeah, and also a few other areas in the park.
That's a bit not good.
So,
well, shit.
For those of you watching at home, Eden City has a kind of a weird flora problem. The goblin fruit is really cool. Firethorn, if I understand the mechanic, so one of the things I didn't specify is that unlike in games like Demon Hunters, you guys have a morality stat. In Vampire, it's humanity, and everyone else, even regular humans, have an equivalent. When that morality gets to 0, you turn into an NPC monster and you lose your character. So yeah, don't murder a bunch of people swimming around a Jimmy Buffett concert, or there will actually be consequences in this game. Well, I'm not saying don't do it. I'm just saying there would be consequences.
Yeah.
Because World of Darkness.
Just being fired from the Brotherhood.
World of Darkness in space.
Yeah.
So, and every system in Infinite Edge has, every system has its own weird quirks, flora, fauna. In Eden City, Firethorn just kind of poofs out of nowhere, especially in Old Town. And if it injures you, I'm going to say you temporarily turn into the worst version of yourself, as if your morality had suddenly hit 0. So vampires rock trick and become boggers. Changelings bottom out and lose all their clarities temporarily and go mad. You may be 1 less on your morality scale when you come back out. You can come back from it, but touching it is bad. Eden, your tourist bureau actually has a pamphlet for tourists, the back of which is all warnings about Firethorn. Also, don't smoke it, which means, of course, someone tried. And anytime there's a rule like that, someone's tried it.
Oh, baby, no. Oh,
We
no.
know someone who did try it.
Okay.
Also, part of your lease agreement is that your business is part of the Firethorn Reduction Auxiliary volunteer group.
Okay.
So it's actually y'all's job to deal with this when it shows up, or at least keep people calm until basically it's like another branch of the fire department, and you're all effectively volunteer firefighters if Firethorn shows up. That said, there's an actual Firethorn department that has stations everywhere, but like this is now a situation you kind of have to take care of because it's legally part of your lease agreement.
Shit.
Right.
Okay.
Because if there's humans, that's bad.
Shit. Okay.
Guess we're on the clock, guys.
Yep. Sorry.
You have to keep their attention centered on you and keep them clustered up here, essentially.
How do we normally take care of it if it's something that we do all the time?
Sometimes you just call it into the central office, and they send out a team that's better able to deal with it. Other times, you sometimes have to rescue people out of it. A lot of changelings have their own methods for actually getting rid of it, but it'll take them a few minutes to mobilize. Does anyone call it in?
We'll call it in.
Yeah. Presley, I'll get earbuds.
I say you have cell phones.
Cell phones.
But yeah,
I probably can't because I'm on the mic.
Well, your cell phone rings.
No.
My
cell phone doesn't ring.
Oh.
I make gestures to you. You know.
Yeah. Do we want to continue the scene of me distracting? Well,
we'll say that we're about to go into rounds. So I would rather popcorn than deal with initiative. So basically, Patricia, you have not. Oh no, you've played Demon Hunter system, right? So
no, I've just seen the movie.
Okay. So I've been running a lot of Fate lately, and it's really fun when instead of initiative, you kind of decide which player goes first, and then that player chooses the next person to go. That said, if you wait for, quote, bad guys to go last, they go twice. So, yeah, so that's called popcorn, is that one person goes, and then they choose the next person to go instead of initiative, and it often makes some more story sense.
Sure. That's
so, we'll say that because Presley is in the middle of, I'm going to say that actually the throng around you goes first, but they're going to give up their action because they're like, what the fuck is that? They're not touching it yet, but because they're like, a magical thing just happened, we think. And so they're kind of like all crunched up in the middle, but they're starting to freak out because what the fuck was that? And they are assuming some kind of supernatural just cast a spell and is trying to hurt them. Because they don't bother doing any research, and they clearly didn't take the pamphlet. or they didn't read the pamphlet. And now they're your problem.
We're so
Presley,
specific in our pamphlet.
You're super specific. You've actually, with your guidance, you've made it more specific since you've been on board. You've edited it. It's like, no, tell them it this way.
Yeah.
Make the no smoking bigger. So you're surrounded by vanilla humans who are starting to freak out and still aren't really sure what to make of you. Because they think you're a human, but you're not saying the things you were supposed to say, and their cognitive dissonance is getting in the way of their brains. What would you like to do? What are you going to do with your turn?
My turn?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I mean, do you want me to role play it out? I was literally just going to, like, call someone up and talk to them.
Okay.
You mean call someone up or call someone up?
Call someone up. I was going to call someone to the stage and be like, hey, why are you here today?
Well, technically you're already scrunched in with them.
Oh, I am? Okay. Then I'll just start talking to...
Yeah. Talk to the nearest
Then I'll just be like, okay, you know what? Let's get in real close, because I really want to get to know all of you. I wanna know what's going on.
I'm going to say you should try rolling... I would say this is another manipulation persuasion roll, just because then you get the mega stats. Presence might
so whatever it is, 7 plus 9. I rolled a 7. I have 9 in persuasion and manipulation.
So that is a 16. So that is
3 successes.
3 successes. Thank you, math brain.
We can do basic addition and subtraction. Woo!
14 is the number for 3.
So I will say that at least for the duration of this round, they aren't going to try and run away screaming, which would be bad because then they get in contact with the Firethorn.
Yeah.
So they're all like, I really want to get to know you. Come on. And so they're all kind of looking to you. Actually, let me just roll again. I'm going to say that they are... they're very much looking for guidance in this moment. So they're like, she seems to know what's going on, and they're all looking at you now. Okay, so you've got their attention, and they're not going to start running away yet.
Yeah.
So who goes next?
Oh, I guess who goes next.
Yes.
Okay, I'm going to give the reins to Dune.
All right, Dune.
All right.
You do, Dune.
How much space is there between the Firethorn and a group of people?
I would say there's a couple feet.
Is it encroaching on that space, or is it just growing vertically?
It's kind of like a thicket, like almost like yeah, it's kind of growing around them in a circle, and it seems to be growing up rather than in so far. It grew really fast, and now it's kind of slowed down, but you're not really sure where it's going to go yet.
All right.
Like it could widen, it could go in a different direction, it could double in on it. So it's really, this shit's really weird.
And Petruchio's already called the department, correct?
Yes.
And Priestley is keeping their eyes on her. Her or him?
Her. Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
So, sure. All right. Cool. So, what I'll do is I'll get the attention of my cousin. Well, I call him my cousin.
Yeah, the cops. Yeah, there were a couple cops. So
yes.
So
the other wolf-blooded who is a cop, yes, and I'll get his attention, and I'll get him to get his brothers in arms, as they are, to do a, what do you call it? Form a perimeter. You know, patrol the outside to keep people from going out. I mean, they're not inclined to do so now, but they may be in the future, and I would like figures of authority to try and help and prevent that from happening, because that would be, as they say, bad. Do the regular police officers know the protocol for Firethorn containment and suppression?
Yes, they know the protocol. So
Right.
they are at this point 3 very green young beat officers, including your buddy. So he's like, oh, okay. So they're also kind of like, someone tell us what to do.
So
But then kind of one of them kind of wakes up, and then he's like, oh, wait, yeah. And you get the sense that he's some kind of magical person, because he kind of goes out to the edge of the gate, or to the entrance of the park where the fence begins, and he kind of starts doing a thing.
So wait,
And-
how big is the circle of thorns here? Because I'm thinking it's small.
I would say it's a pretty big group of. It's not a huge group of people, but they're very loud.
Right.
So I would say the group of people is about 20 feet across.
Okay. Is that
And
diameter?
yeah, diameter. And so the fire thorn is a couple feet out from that.
So it's say 25 foot diameter, I would say. And
Yeah,
20,
something like that. Yeah.
make it 26 to make it even on both sides.
Yeah, so that happened. Yeah, so two of the cops are phoning stuff in. One is kind of staying to keep an eye. I guess this means it's the cop's turn. Or would you say the cop's turn is next?
I'm trying to get them to do stuff essentially as part of my turn. So
Yeah, I already started role playing it, so I'm not going to make you roll for it this time. But they were also looking for instructions. So one of them seems to be magicking a perimeter,
right.
and basically using the fence of the park as a guide, which is lucky because there's basically no one else left in the park except for the protesters, the cops, and y'all, which is good. So they're not trapping anyone in with the firethorn.
Yeah.
But also, like, all the locals are basically, they're a bunch of local people outside also phoning it in because there are tons of people volunteering. So, yeah, still people are rubbernecking, but no one's coming near this park today or tonight.
Yeah.
So, okay, so that will be the cop. So we'll just have the cops go at the same time. So who goes next, Dune?
So we've had the cops go. It was been my turn, and then it was the cops' turn. So the people who are possible to go. I mean, some have already gone, but like, so it's Presley, the cops, me, Petruchio, the assholes, Klaus. Is there anybody else?
Not yet.
Okay, so the assholes and the cops have already gone. I've already gone. Price is already gone. So let's throw it over to our esteemed leader, Petruchio. I'll say it right eventually. Maybe.
Right.
When I'm more drunk.
Patrick. Patrico. Sorry, Petruchio.
All right, so this stuff is something that we've already fought before. We deal with all the time. Water put it out. What is it weak against?
It's weak. There are a lot of magical people, so there are a lot of different forms of magical attacks. The main thing is don't let it touch you, skin to skin. Try not to let it touch you, like even the fabric of your clothing, just in case.
I know what it's dangerous, but what is its weakness? Only magical attacks?
You've seen largely magical attacks, like people have cut it back with fire axes and things, but that doesn't stop it growing, but it can sometimes help rescue some people.
But it's not like there's anything that it's weak against?
It's hard to say. It's actually roll intelligence and occult.
13, 2 successes.
Okay. You think back because you've been here a while. So people have noticed that it's susceptible to cold iron, which isn't really in a lot of supply in Eden City. Like, it's just for some it's just one of those quirks of the planet Balder that there's just not a lot of iron ore on it. Also, totally not creepy. But yeah, iron. Some forms of iron ore can affect it. You've seen mages just like melt it if they have the right magic types. You're not really sure how that works, or how mage magic is weird. You've seen mages literally turn back time on it. You've seen all sort like just sphere magic is crazy. Sometimes, eventually, what you're hoping is that changelings will come in with. The changelings in the area have been breeding. You think they're called hedge beasts? That will basically come in and eat it because they're not mortal, so it can't hurt them.
Yum yum.
Yum yum.
All right. Well, I have some allies and contacts here, so I will start calling up my allies and contacts and say, you need to send help to Metro Park immediately. There's a firestorm outbreak. Who's ever in the area, who's ever, like, I'm assuming I have some, I don't know, other changeling friends, anyone I can call about this if we're on reserve to deal with this sometimes. I probably have some contacts regarding that.
Okay, well, you already rolled and you got 3 successes, so I'm going to say that, yeah, you can, You've already called it into the general hotline, but now you know to call some specific people.
Yeah, that's
You're
what I'm
also a conservator, because people you've seen deal with this before and more effectively. So it's like, okay, yeah. So now they'll be here next round instead of in 2 rounds.
Okay.
Because there are also people that work in the neighborhood that maybe don't know this is happening yet. Because you call 911 and then
they call the locals.
Yeah. So.
And it snowballs back around.
So it's like, bro, can you do me a favor?
Because I'm not going anywhere near it.
Yeah. Good plan. Okay, so who goes next? You get to choose who goes next in the turn order.
Oh, Klaus.
Okay, Klaus.
Is there anyone who has already been visibly hurt by this?
Not yet. It seemed to start a little bit away from them, and now they've all kind of crunched in around Pricely, not dangerously so, but just sort of like cowering.
Yeah.
Can you do any kind of gaseous sedative, as it were?
I could try.
You've got matter 1. You're a
You
moron.
being the chemist that you are, and then
yeah.
those the kinds of things that'll make people go to sleep or make people trip absolute balls, or at least get so much balls that they can't actually move and they're just stopped and staring at whatever gemstones and lace they happen to be able to see.
Yeah, I could totally try that, I guess. No guarantee that it'll work, but
I mean,
it's better than doing nothing.
Consent before drugging them, but in extremis, I prefer them to be tripping balls than dead, even if they are bastards.
You can do some minor manipulation of matter.
Okay.
And you've got stuff on you. You will have to roll to cast, which I don't think I specified how that works.
Nope.
So we'll just say rolling for that kind of magic is an attribute and a skill plus the number of sphere that you have as dots. So we'll say, so what exactly do you want to do? And I will decide what the roll is.
I want to use whatever questionable hallucinogenic drugs I have on my person to sort of spread it over the crowd magically and make them sort of stop freaking out about the magic plants that are going to burn them alive or whatever.
Okay. Are you sure you want to use hallucinogens?
Probably not.
You're going to use hallucinogens? Like, I'm not saying don't do it. I'm just saying, are you sure?
I mean, they'll stampede. I mean, the pink elephants might, I'm just saying.
Maybe a sedative? If you just want them to go to
Yeah, a
sleep?
sedative might be a better choice in this situation.
You've got some Quaaludes on you. It's fine.
Yeah.
Or space Quaaludes. Space Ludes.
Okay.
Okay, so I'll say that is I'm gonna say that is a.
I mean, if you're going to be a hardcore drug addict, might as well get as much mileage as you can out of it.
Yeah.
I will say. I'm gonna say that intelligence and medicine plus your total dots in that sphere.
And would that be matter or?
Yes.
Okay, cool. I didn't get to look over all of the spheres thoroughly, so.
Yeah, just we're playing it pretty fast and loose, and
Yeah.
mage is. Or, I'm sorry.
So in medicine matter. It's gonna be 16.
Oh, sweet. So successes. Yeah. So 3 successes. Yeah, I'd say. So Pricely, you're a little.
Sorry, Pricely.
I'm gonna say they won't roll to Pricely. Just roll a d10.
Okay, roll a d10. Okay.
Yeah.
Oof.
Just don't roll a 1.
6. I rolled a 6.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
That means you're still awake. Let's see how.
It's not a 1.
It's not a 1.
Okay, that's.
I don't want to make you look at your sheet again if you don't.
I really don't.
Oh dear.
Oh no. Oh dear. Oh no.
Oh dear.
What it is. What? Oh no.
Okay, so they didn't roll even a 6. So you're a little sleepy, but you're like you see Klaus do a thing, and you're like, Klaus did a thing, and now I'm sleepy. Actually, no, I might make you roll to notice that later. But suddenly you feel a bit sleepy. But all the guys around you, or all the people around you, all genders, sadly, are kind of like a few of them look like they're almost gonna like just fall down, and they're like really sleepy. Like someone just hit them with like a whole jug of moonshine at once.
Oh wow.
And so they're kind of they're not swaying towards the thorny perimeter yet, but they're all kind of like falling down in place, and it doesn't look like they're going to be running away anytime soon.
Okay.
This was the goal.
Okay, that's good.
Okay, so
all these guys, I'm sleepy, and all these guys are.
Yeah.
Just...
So. Yeah. So Klaus, who goes next?
Is there anyone left who hasn't gone this round?
Not this round.
Okay, cool.
So
Let's hand it back to Pricely since I kind of drugged her a little bit.
Just a little bit.
Just a little.
Okay, so all the people, this is great. It's so in character because I'm actually tired. So what are the are they all just like drop dead? Like not dead, but like just sleepy on the floor? Am I the only wakey one?
You're the most awake, so you're a little bit brain fogged, but it's like, okay, this is happening. Maybe because you were already a bit drunk when you were already a bit buzzed.
Yeah, I was.
When you came in.
Okay.
So, but yeah, the other guys are all just like, at least a couple are starting to actually fall asleep.
Okay. What is happening?
Most of them are still standing, but they're just suddenly like they're so drowsy and they like can't really focus on what's going on around them. And it's like, so they don't look scared or angry. They just look, doped up like a lot.
Okay. I don't know what I could do in this instance as the person in the center of a bunch of sleeping people.
I mean, you could get them the rest of the way by being nice. Like one of them, what you call them, asshole. No, ASMR streamers.
You know what? I'm just gonna help sing a lullaby.
Okay.
I'm going to sing a lullaby.
Can you do some subliminal messaging in the lullaby to get them to stop hating us?
There you go.
You know what? Let me try it. I got persuasion and manipulation. Let's do it. Okay.
Okay, I'll allow that.
I got 9 dots. Okay, it's a 6 plus 9.
So that's a 15.
Nice. So that's 15.
Okay.
Go to sleep, go to sleep. Don't be such a big asshole.
Yeah, I'm gonna say, yeah,
you will be so very kind to supernaturals.
There you
they're
go.
out. At least one of them, a couple of them, kind of act like, wait, is someone casting a spell? So you maybe didn't reverse brainwash them, or brainwash them, but you at least got them to go to sleep. They may be very annoyed at you when they wake up.
But they
rolled a 10, but they're already really doped up. So yeah, so you get your achieved effect, but you know,
at what cost?
At what cost?
Perfect. I love it.
Okay, so who goes next?
I would like to note that Vampiric Yoda in the chat that humans are trash, but for some people they are very tasty trash, like ringdings.
That's amazing.
Technically, changelings don't necessarily eat humans, but they do eat their feels.
I'm sorry, I missed the first part of that.
Tasty feels. Yeah, basically, humans and changelings both prey on humans. Vampires and changelings both prey on humans, just in different ways.
Yes.
Yeah.
Junk food. Yes.
They're super yummy.
Humans as potato chips or nachos, depending on the game system.
Nachos.
Now I'm just thinking about in the What We Do in the Shadows show, the vampires going out clubbing and then getting really high because they drank the drug blood.
I've only seen the first episode. I need to watch the rest of that. Anyway.
We ate some people who were high on drugs.
Space!
I'm a wizard.
Sorry.
Nicely, who goes next?
I'm gonna give it back to Dune.
All right.
Dune.
My buddy.
So
I would say while Fen is singing everyone to sleep, some more first responders do show up. One of them actually is you at first you look up expecting that's your auntie, but no, it's not actually your auntie swooshing in. It's some kind of person riding a fish with a bunch of other smaller fish around it.
I see the Atlanteans have shown up finally.
Okay.
Long enough.
So Dune, what do you do?
The people riding fish, are they inside the perimeter or outside the perimeter?
They're outside, but because the perimeter doesn't have a ceiling, it's just like it goes up with the fence. They're basically just going to touch down. They're just going to go over it, and the cops are going to assume they're here to help. I'm sure you all have volunteer badges that you just like flash it, and it's like, but you know, no one comes near the Firethorn unless they're trying to help.
I walk over to the fish people. Do I recognize the species?
Roll for it. I would say wit's occult.
All right. 1 sec. All right. Yeah, that's fine. So that's a 6 plus a 6 for a 12 and 2 successes.
Okay. You would clock this person as a changeling. Basically, weirdo creatures that aren't spirits are generally hedge beasts. Creatures of the hedge. So that's probably what the flying fishies are. The person just looks like a chick in like overalls and like a hat that looks like they're a superintendent of somewhere. Petruchio, you recognize this lady as someone you've seen deal with this before? So this is one of the people you called.
Good.
So I'll say she touches down. She shows up and she's like, "Hey, what's up?"
It appears we have ourselves what you might call a situation. I mean, we have the normies under control, the non-spiritly inclined, the normal humans, but the Firethorn is still growing, not as fast as it was, granted. It grew approximately 4.5 feet in about 30 seconds, so it was something of a quick invasion of it. I don't suppose that you've got anything on that fish there that could help deal with it, or, in your repertoire of skills.
Oh, the fish are the arsenal.
Yeah.
And she's just like, and she starts, she yells something in Gaelic, and is like, go. And the fishies start swimming towards the fire. Or okay, so we'll say Dune, like, you used your turn to kind of just update the first responder. Does that mean the first responder goes next?
Yeah, I think so. I don't really have any.
We'll say the changeling and her fishy entourage are all one.
Yeah, but I'm trying to think if I could do anything actually to help the fishies, but I really don't have anything unless I wanted to improvise a weapon, but I don't really have access to anything that would do much to the Firethorns. So, yeah, let's say she goes next.
You can shoot it. It's just not super effective.
Yeah, I mean,
or it depends on the situation.
I mean, it's not actively attacking. It doesn't appear to have any kind of central mass to it because we're surrounded by it. But, so I'm going to say that it's probably not a good idea to try shooting it randomly without knowing where the central mass is. And I mean, I can make a headshot just as well as the next person who's got about 53 years experience with a gun. But unless I know where the head is, the fact that I can shoot a hair off it doesn't make much sense to help.
We'll make quick work of this, no problem.
All right.
And, yeah. So, do you tell the Irish lady to go next?
Yes, and I also tell her that my auntie's on the way. Just in case she wants to know.
Do you say your auntie, or do you use
I say my auntie.
Okay, then she's like, okay. And she's like, all right, so what you guys see is...
I mean, she's got a name, but to me she's my sainted aunt, to whom I owe much for my existence in the city.
Okay, the fishies rolled a 10. So...
do the fishies roll again?
So, I don't think they need to. Trukio, you've seen this before, so you're not maybe as weirded out as everyone else in the room, or in the park, who's not asleep. So the fishies swim in the air towards the Firethorn, and there's there's like one big one that's like the size of a Saint Bernard, and then there's some Chihuahua-sized ones, and then there's actually some like fish-sized fish that are just like swimming, and goldfish, all of that. So it's like this cloud of fish and like shiny golden and red scales, and
a school.
They look like, yeah, a school of flying goldfish. Especially since goldfish can just keep getting bigger, so and apparently big enough to ride in the hedge.
This thrills me.
So this, oh no, she's Irish, so they're salmon. So it's pink and silver.
Even
like,
better.
Hi! All right, dinner time, says the lady. Go get your num-nums, go! And the fishies are like, yay! And they're swimming, and they start eating the Firethorn. And they're, nom, 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 nom. And they just start, or, you know, like little fishy.
Like piranha. Only instead of eating people, they're eating Firethorn.
Yep. Nom, nom, nom. And it takes a little while, but luckily the sleepy humans are sleepy. And your friend is not being attacked by them while they smushed inside. And so yeah, Klaus and Petruchio, is there anything y'all would like to do while this is going on?
Not really.
Okay.
They're taking care of it, and I get to stay away from it, so that's what I wanted.
I did my job, keeping an eye on the situation. If anyone needs healing, I'll do that, but it doesn't seem like anyone does right now, so...
No, you protected the assholes from themselves.
Mm-hmm.
And eventually
with magic powers.
they're going to be so happy when they wake up.
Yeah, Luna protect those in need of protecting, especially those who cannot protect themselves.
Yeah. So,
even if they're assholes.
Especially if they're assholes. Because I too am an asshole, and I would also like protection when I need it.
Yeah.
That's valid.
Yep, they have a right to demonstrate, and they, on the upside, on the weird plus side, this happened before they hurt anyone.
On the extra plus side, they did it. They tried to do it tonight instead of next night when the werewolves would have been running the park. So
it's okay.
So yeah,
they did it tonight.
Speaking of werewolves, as the fish are nibbling away the last of the firethorn, and one of the magic cop is taking down the defense perimeter so that ambulance people can come in and take a look at the protesters and anyone else who may need attention. But Priceley, you're pretty much the only one in that pile of people that's still awake. Which may or may not be unusual for you. That's up to you. It's a cuddle pile. Whoops. Just not the one you were looking for.
Sorry.
Yeah. So yeah, Priceley, you can extract yourself easily from the cuddle pile and get out of the firethorn a bit faster because the big fish eats really fast. And it's okay. So yeah, and just as the ambulance people are coming in, dude, you feel that same feeling in the back of your ear that.
Goddamn bastard, you stupid bastard! Get down here! Get down here! You fucking get down here!
The bat's back. I'm gonna fight the thing.
So yeah, there are a few bat spirits, but what you see more, what June noted, I'd say the rest of you notice because you're waiting for Auntie, is a kind of shadow just kind of swoosh. At this point, it's dark. It's the sun has gone down. Kind of swooshes into one of the trees in the shadows, and then there are 4 other swooshes behind them in various other trees, and you're like,
oh,
good. They're here.
My sainted aunt and her entourage.
And
I hope they're not the same assholes that were last time, or I might have to punch the one on principle for insulting my mother's best scumble. Also made primarily of apples, but doesn't glow.
Now that guy's in the other pack.
I better be.
So yeah, a whole bunch of shadows swoosh in from, you think maybe one of the other train bridges, and just sort of whoosh into the trees, then tree to tree, and then suddenly they're there, but they're still in the shadows in the trees, so you're still not sure what's going on. Dude knows what's going on. The rest of you are like, I guess there are someone's here.
Okay.
This is probably fine.
This is probably fine.
I'll saunter over casually to the tree that's with the shadows in it, where my sainted aunt is. Lean
the
against
biggest shadow, yes.
Lean against it because I know better than to draw attention to myself by just staring up at a tree. And say, because I know that my aunt and her entourage are full-on werewolves as opposed to me, simply a wolf blood, and the other police officer, our cousin. You know, do the casual lean and go, it took you long enough to get here, we took care of the problem. But you might wish to mark whoever it is, because I'll bet my last dime that this won't be the last time we see these assholes pulling this shit.
You know full well there's an entire department devoted to taking track of all of the Redthorn in the city.
Aye,
and quiet your noise. Farmtown is a long jog away.
Aye, but I didn't send you the message about the Firethorn, did I? I sent you the message about the bastards who are currently asleep, thanks to my good friends. And they were being bastards, and it was them who were attracting the anger spirits by being assholes. They were being intolerant, bad-mouthing the mayor, and saying they should eject all of us because they outnumber us or something in this town. And I don't see them not stirring trouble up in the future.
Well, the mayor is a right creepy bastard.
I
But,
mean,
but that doesn't mean they should be speaking ill of him in the public square.
I mean, Cousin Edward's also a right creepy bastard, but we still invite him over to the family reunions. So there's no sense to be taken against a person just because they're a right creepy bastard.
Well, Cousin Edward is a vampire that wears the glitter. So that's a problem.
I don't
Even the other vampires think he's silly.
I don't
But
suppose.
he's still family.
Aye, but that's not the problem with the Cousin Edward anyway.
Somehow none of you can hear this conversation.
You know, you ought to keep a tab on these particular people that we have so cleverly rendered unconscious, taken by scent or taken by identification, because you can bet you'll be seeing them again.
Yes, we'll take note of the bastards.
Aye.
And we'll patrol around the area for any stray spirits that want to be causing a hijinks.
Aye. And I'll see you tomorrow for a hunt.
Tomorrow's the moot.
Tomorrow's the hunt. Tomorrow's the monthly hunt. So
The monthly moot.
pack.
I feel like I'm on Kilkenny. No, what is the Canadian show?
Letterkenny.
Letterkenny.
Aye. But
To
that's
be fair.
you know. So
To be fair,
aye.
we should have this. We should have this wrapped up by midnight and have all the stray spirits sent away. And yes, there'll be a moot tomorrow.
Aye.
Maybe
So-
a hunt if we feel drunk enough.
Aye. If you're wishing after you're finished up here, come to the saga and I'll get you a free drink.
I might take you up on that. Tomorrow I'll be bringing the apple crisp.
Always be loving your apple crisp.
All right. I'll see you at the bar.
I see you at the bar.
What is your character's first name again?
That is for me to know,
Oh,
and my co-workers never to find out.
all right. Well, nephew, I'll see you later.
That's
Aye.
amazing.
Keep the moonshine lukewarm for me.
Aye, that I will.
And I'll see you later. Tell your mates. I said hello.
Aye,
And
that I
I'm
will.
glad none of them came to any harm because they do a good service.
Aye, they do.
All right, and I'll be seeing you.
So,
None of you hear this because it is somehow whispered so quietly, like you can't hear without making a roll. But like
Okay.
somehow they can whisper in Welsh, but I can't. Because I'm the goddamn Batman.
I mean, my
You're
second
the
hand is probably
Liars.
dropping in the what you
my
call it
God.
whisper talk, but you know.
Yeah, one of the
Amazing.
things that was annoying about one thing that irked me about building this for Nier is that the Lodge of Spires was not approved for play, so I could not have it just be all Lodge of Spires. But then that led to the idea for the Bat Pack. So I'm the goddamn
That's
Batman.
amazing.
Didn't know she'd have that accent until today, but I'm good for it.
I love it. It's perfect.
I really hope Merc can. I hope I didn't screw up the VOD so Merc can clip that because I love doing the Welsh accents.
I'll be
But I
doing
wanted to save it for the end.
I don't have a problem with trying to do it.
We're killing Vampiric Yoda. Everyone is. Oh no, we've got one more watcher. Hello.
Aye.
Welcome to Idun City. I'm the goddamn Batman.
And Vampiric Yoda is apparently already on it, so we shouldn't have a problem with getting the thing off the VOD, as it were. So,
Oh no, my camera's frozen.
ah,
Oh
It's
no.
not about to crash.
as they
That's
say,
an amazing freeze frame though. It's perfect.
I think your computer may be melting.
Oh dear.
Eh.
We're at about the end. Yes, you all learn about a new hate group today. They are. My God, I'm so derpy looking. The computer didn't like the Batman joke. Batman is apparently sacred to my computer.
Oh no.
Bill's the shine of Batman.
At least you can still hear me. So, thank you, chat, for tuning in. I am Ms. Chrysila usually on Twitch as a civilian, and also on Twitter. And yeah, we'll be doing this for a few weeks, assuming I have a computer. So yeah, and we'll keep doing this, and maybe we'll put up a Discord for it, because why not?
So thanks. More doing, perhaps.
Thank you for watching. I'm the goddamn Batman. I am right.
Oh my god, this is amazing.
So yeah, so thanks everyone for coming, and so yeah, let's do another goodbye introduction. So I'm Ms. Chrysila. I do a lot of gaming stuff. I stream once in a while, but now we're gonna try streaming this because it's fun, and we're all quarantined. And me, Dune, and Klaus have effectively been playing via webcam since September. So why not stream it? So yeah, I hope everyone had fun before my computer crashes. So Dune, who are you?
I'm Merc.
When you're at home.
I'm Dune. No, I'm Merc. I'm on the Discords. I usually just watch stuff. My favorite stream is Masters of the Metaverse on Mondays on the Zombie Orpheus Twitch channel. I write a lot of short stories for it, so if you can check it out, because it's cool. And yeah, I'm basically very boring beyond that. So, Adea, you're other side of me. No, fucking. There we go.
There you go.
I know, it's not a
This
murder.
verse is like killing me.
Of course, some people do go both ways.
It takes all kinds.
Sorry. So, Adea. Yep.
I'm Adea. I played Petruccio, who may or may not be a vampire. And yeah, this is the first time I ever did anything like this, so not really sure what to do, but that's me. Fen?
Hi, I am Sunburst Splendor. I am super new to streaming games, but I've been LARPing for quite a few years. You can find me on Instagram if you want cat pics. If you
and who wouldn't want
Excellent.
cat pics?
Who wouldn't want to see photos of my cat? It's literally just photos of my cat and photos of my
She's the
girlfriend.
majestic
And sometimes, and sometimes things that I cook, because that's all I can do in quarantine. There's nothing else to do. So I learned how to make lasagna.
Feel free to pitch any other non-nerd performances you do, like on streaming earlier on Saturday.
Oh yeah. Oh, that one is a weird thing. Like it.
And this
No, it's a weird thing. I'll tell you. It's fine.
Okay. I'm Dracus. I was playing Klaus, who is the mess of a healer and necromancer, and definitely didn't drug my friends twice. I'm actual Dracus on both Discord and Instagram, so there's that. But I do a lot of gaming, very little on stream, but that's about that.
Well, thank you all for coming. Oh God, once I start, I can't stop.
Such a mood.
It took a minute to get into the Irish accent, which I can also do, but I was looking so forward to eventually the Welsh Batman will show up and I can be the Welsh Batman. And yes.
I opened the door, as it were.
Because I am Irish, I'm not Welsh, but I can do the Welsh accent more, well, I can do a horrible, stereotypical Welsh accent better than an Irish one. And that's one of the things I like about GMing, because it's fun playing, but it's also fun doing the voice foo. And when I'm only playing one character, I only get to do one voice. But also would like to thank Merc, because she's the one that drop kicked me onto a stream with no notice and my very puffy face and bad lighting. But it got me over my fear of streaming, and now we're here. So I hope everyone had a fun time watching. Oh God, I still want to do the cadence. So yeah, I don't really have any plan to monetize this. We'll see how it goes. There may be more games. Well, there's definitely going to be more of this game. There might be more other games. We'll see what happens while we're all in quarantine on webcams and my camera is still frozen. And I look all derpy.
Yeah, well,
So, you know, if you want to laugh on a Friday night, I'm the goddamn Batman. I am the knight. Yeah, so there's more adventures to come.
No. The whole thing. I am vengeance. I am the knight. I am Batman, and these are my hammers for justice.
Yes.
What is it? I am vengeance. I am justice. I am the knight. These are my hammers. I'll be punching you something good.
The hammer is his penis.
Well, your officer identifies as male, but the fun thing about space is it's almost a post-gender society. People still have genders, but they can pick whichever ones they want. Hence, I scripted these characters, since some people haven't played this at all before, and some haven't played it in a while. So, yeah. And this, basically the tourist-fronted Underground Railroad was supposed to be a plot kit sent to other games and Mind's Eye Society to basically introduce them to the idea of what was going to happen at the Northeast Regional event. Unfortunately, no one ran it. But the idea was so fun that I'm like, can't I do more with this? And now we're here. But I hope you guys are coming back next week, life permitting, because shit happens. We've got a couple other alternates as well, backup players and backup characters in case. But yeah, so I hope you all had fun in Eden City, where everything is nice and nothing is at all suspicious.
There is no war in Eden City.
There is no war in Eden City. Oh, so the one thing I didn't get to mention about Firethorn. Yes, it's very awful, but in Changeling Society, it is also a very specific omen. In most systems, Firethorn only grows where a Thurizaz has recently walked or is about to show up. The Thurizaz being the true Fae, who, if this is 4117, I think, in the 1700s, the Thurizaz, aka the true Fae or the Gentry of Lost, giant interdimensional powerful godlike aliens tried to conquer the galaxy, and no one's seen changelings for a while, but suddenly there were a whole lot of changelings. So, but for some reason, in Eden, like there are, by supernatural counts, there are 10 changelings to every one other kind of supernatural, and everyone keeps an eye out, and no one's seen a true Fae ever. Sure. That's fine. That's normal. Everything's fine. So, yeah. So that's not suspicious. It's just a weird thing that happens here on this planet where there aren't any iron ore deposits.
Although being a spacefaring race, I imagine you could probably drag a couple of iron asteroids out of orbit and mine them if you are so inclined. That would be the best way to be getting iron in the system where the planet doesn't have any.
I was going to ask if iron is a weakness of Fae in this system, and I think that answers my question.
Yeah.
What? Nah.
Oh, shit.
Nah.
No way.
Hey, I'm probably going to have to sign off. But
all right, I think we're all going to... Okay, so
yeah.
I'm still frozen, but everyone wave bye-bye, and
Bye.
we will go offline. So bye-bye, chat. Thank you for watching. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.